people coming up here, you can meet up with them after their session, or you can stand up and say something. We just like your encouragement. Thank you so much.
Please, let's settle down. We want to continue with the pitching for the agri sector.
The lady's waiting for. Are we supposed to call her? It's okay.
All right. Yes. Let's just begin to settle down.
That's what we ate lunch. We ate lunch there. Did they do snacks today? When the snacks they did?
Yeah. This is my first time I went to I said, give me. But I just got some. Just inside that line, I got two. I said, come, let's even go. There's a VIP. So, but the time was even saying, where are you? When she said me, I said, I wasn't using my phone, so I couldn't even call you or anything.
No, but I saw you now. I saw you guys coming when I went to the bathroom. Okay. When I came out, I saw you guys. You already pick up your snacks, and I said, maybe this is why I'm supposed to go to the.
All right. Can we begin? I know.
She did it so seamless.
Can we continue, please?
Okay. So you're welcome back. I know we're still expecting a couple of people. For those that are still serving their lunch or their breakfast, please hasten up and join us. We have two more pictures. So the next will be Adenike Adekbeju. Please, let's put our hands together for her as she comes up. Yes. It's not easy to pitch at this time of the day, right? But be encouraged, sister. Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
My name is Adenike Akbeji. I'm popularly called Iya Kuli Kuli. And if you want to know more about me, you can just Google that name and you'll be able to read more.
Iya Pepe.
Iya Kuli Kuli.
Oh, Iya Kuli
Kuli Kuli Kuli.
Okay.
I don't know if my slides are up. I have a very interesting story to tell you this afternoon. I stand here to represent a set of young women and young people in Nigeria. This dream came to pass when I went to do my service year in Niger State, and I met a young lady called Aminat. And every morning, Aminat will knock at my door, and all she wants to sell to me is kuli kuli. And I was wondering what I should do with that. So I decided to maximize my youth service year. And what did I do? I actually established a vocational school, and I started taking the kuli kuli off Aminat to make her sit down and learn tailoring. And after a while, I wondered what that could do, and I decided to work on that product. So the piece of kuli kuli in my hand was inspired by Aminat, and it has empowered over 250 women. That brings me to my presentation today. Next slide, please. So my ask today is $370,000. The first is a long-term debt that you will get your returns on investment on for farm equipment and processing facility to be able to meet up our demands and also cover our export need. The next is a revolving credit line that you can withdraw like your interest rate. It's for working capital and raw material processing. And then we also need grants to develop technology that will enhance all these processes to be seamless. Next slide, please. Now, what's the big problem that the company is facing? We started producing those products, and we discovered that actually the product cannot fit into different stores, like we heard earlier, Walmart stores, and all the stores that could push the product as highly nutritious as it is. And what was the issue? It was the issue with raw materials. So we had shortage of raw materials, and we also had the issues of the quality of the raw materials. So we decided to do a backward integration to farmers, and you can see what the processing lines were like. If you zoom up the pictures, sometime later you will see that where the products are produced are not healthy, and that's why many people were rejecting it. And we also see that our farmers are using hoes and cutlasses in this generation, and we know that that will not give us what we need. Next. So what do we do? This is simple. Our business model, we have a backward integration working with farmers. We have the farm implements work with them, which is also part of their EOP, that's the expense line out. So it is that when the machines work for them, it's also part of the cost of their working, so it pays for itself. And then when we also do that, we support the farmers with technical know-how. They have agronomists that work with them and partner with them to give them the best agronomic practices so that the groundnut comes as it is. And then we also train. Now, when the peanut farmers work, we get processed raw materials. Now, part of what we do with the farmers is to give them access to markets. People like me in our association where we produce peanuts and use peanuts as our raw materials also lack sufficient quality raw materials. It will surprise you that peanuts that we use to produce come from neighboring countries into Nigeria, while we can actually produce ours. So they will buy off from part of what we harvest, and then the rest will go into our processing line. And we also have different products in our processing line, which is what we're actually main focused on. That's the processing line. So the processing line will give you the kulikuli snacks, it will give you kulikuli oil, and we also have the circularity in it, which we'll be working on. We are actually on the R&D to make the shells of the groundnut into paper bags. Next. So here we already have customers. We're not. The major problem we have is that our demand is more than the supply. What you see here is not a system-generated number. These are companies that gave us LPOs while we started 3 years ago into the backward integration, and we could not service them. A company needs 1,000 tons per week. We can do all that maths because there's no time. So for the raw materials, we have companies who already give us LPOs. Even last week, we got LPO to export to China, and we cannot meet up the demand. So we also have the finished products going into supermarkets, and the most interesting part for me in that distribution channel is the female distributor channel that we have. So we have women who distribute our products. We have women who distribute our products, and it goes into their own value chain of making money. We have women that are widows that have sold our products and have made up to about $5,000 per annum. Next slide, please. Next slide, because I have 1 minute more. I want to take you through this shortly so that you can see what it is. Now, this is my pain story. I call it my pain story because this data is what we have worked on. So one farmer has 3 hectares in these different locations that you are seeing. On this 3 hectares that he has, he needs to be able to process the peanuts into available raw materials for the prompting. But because he does not have the necessary machineries and tools to work with, he actually suffers a loss of 3.25 tons on each hectare. So you can see the total loss that we come to due to lack of mechanization. But if we scale up this, that is what we're going to have. We're going to have $19,000 returns from export proceeds. So what I would like to end with, let me show you the national loss. Can we go to the last slide? Okay, so let me show you the national loss so that you can dream with me the way we were in 1970, 1960, 1940, when we had the Granite Pyramid, and it was the oil boom that was keeping the whole nation. Now, in that national statistics, we have 5 million peanut farmers, according to records. If each of them have 3 hectares, look at what the nation will be making. So I leave you to that, to dream with me, if we can bring back the Granite Pyramid that can actually feed the nation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes. Now you talk about Granite Pyramids, I'm like, yes. Okay, do we have questions? I must comment on your slides. They're really gorgeous. Your slides are really good.
Thank you very much.
I know you're running through it, that's the problem. But you
It's
have
okay.
some really good data in there. So
Yes.
that was a well-prepared one.
Thank
Do we
you.
have questions for? Yes. We have one hand here. There's another. Okay, so there are like 4 hands. The
Wow.
guy with the microphone. Oh, we have the lady with the microphone now. So I saw 4 hands. He's speaking. He's here, and there are some hands there. Okay.
Okay. My first question is what's the...
Please, your question, 30 seconds.
Okay.
We can take all the questions together. Do you have a pen? Could you jot down?
No, I
Maybe
think I
should
have
help
it
you
there.
with one.
Pen.
Let's take all the questions together. Please, 30 seconds. Don't waste time.
What's the average yield per farmer per hectare? And your losses, are they purely mechanical, or are there agronomy losses too?
Okay, so the losses are both mechanization and agronomic practices. So if you look at the back of my shirt, this is the need of every farmer that is farming pre-nut. I take you just to one side. The groundnuts dry, the groundnuts are ready for harvest. And between the harvest time, okay, and the drying process, we lose most of this. Why? Because it takes sun drying. Most of the environment that dry right now is sun drying. And then the sun dry takes about 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what the weather says. That is actually speculations that are not needed. There is a dryer that we have in process already that can actually dry up to 1 ton per day if you keep it at minimal. So if you dry a ton a day, that is actually taking care of what you should do in 6 weeks. So average turnaround time is fine.
All right, per each farmer, right?
Yes.
That is working on a hectare.
Yes.
Right. How many tons per hectare? How many tons per hectare do they get at harvest? Right.
Okay.
So it's up, and let's say a farmer gets say 20 tons per harvest and loses say like.
Depending on the, okay, so for the seedlings that we have, because we provide the farmers the seedlings,
Okay.
on the 6 hectare ton, we are supposed to get a 15-ton returns, right? So for the 3 tons, and that's what I show you, if you go back to the slide, right? On the 3 hectare farmer, each farmer has a 3 hectare, he's supposed to get 7 tons. But right now, he comes to about 3.25. That's what you get per returns.
Do you need help in agronomy?
You said what?
Do you
Do
need
you
help?
need help in agronomy?
No, we have working with IITA, and we have an agronomist that works with the farmers.
So are your farmers in clusters, or they are distributed?
No, they are in clusters.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, thank
All
you
right.
very much.
So I said we'll take all the questions together. That might be more efficient because we still have the healthcare.
We also have some questions online. If you have a question
Okay.
online,
So-
please raise your hand. If you have a question online, raise your hand electronically.
Madam, there's someone there after him, okay?
Good afternoon. My name is Frederick Fayomi. My question to you is, what are you doing in the area of a carbon credit? How are you
Of what?
utilizing carbon, getting the credit globally?
Carbon
for
trading,
your,
is that?
Okay, so
I think, hello, just note the questions, okay?
Okay.
You said we should note in the questions.
carbon trading.
So you're talking about carbon trading or carbon trading?
Okay. Credit.
Credit. Okay, because I didn't hear what I was saying well. Carbon credit. Oh.
Yeah.
So, did you know that? Carbon
Yes.
credits, yes. Mr. Boyede is here. Next person. Yes. Okay. Madam, you did?
All the way there.
Okay,
Hi.
don't worry.
Hello.
How are you? I I actually like your business. I think it's
Put
really
the
nice.
microphone to
And
your
the
mouth,
fact
young
that-
man. We can hear you.
I can hear you guys.
And the fact that you're supporting women, I think that's very, very nice.
We still can hear you.
My observation is, you mentioned you have LPOs, right?
Yes.
Have you considered like factoring your business? Because if you have LPOs, this demonstrates that you have demands that you're not able to fulfill.
Yes.
So you can talk to money guys, and money guys could fulfill that for you at a percentage of your profit margin. If you want some more, advice on that, you can reach out to me.
All right.
All right, thank you.
There's one hand here. Madam, I don't want us to lose. There's a hand that's been here for a while. And then the man with the red cap.
Back there.
I would name this man probably the most. Let me not disclose the category yet.
Thank you very much again.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks to Adenike for that presentation. I want to...
Attention, please. Just a quick recognition of our distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a friend of the diaspora, distinguished Senator Dr. Victor Ume, OFR, representing Anambra Central Senatorial District and Chairman, Senate Committee on Diaspora and NGOs. Distinguished, you are welcome.
All right. Could we ride on? Yes, you have the floor, Mr.
Okay,
Boyde.
thank you very much. So I want to dream with you as well. So, Titi, please, 30 seconds for the dream and 30 seconds to expand on what Dr. Mark said earlier on.
Okay.
Because the two of them actually fuse into one. Now, I dream with you that we could get the Grand Pyramids back. I dream with you that that is just one component of economic recovery and also recovery of the heritage that we have lost in the past.
Thank you, sir.
And then weaving it back to what Dr. Mary said about Walmart.
Okay.
I spent 3 days in Arkansas, the global headquarters of Walmart. I sat with the global purchasing director. Everything Dr. Mary said is true. But this is where it becomes a national rather than a personal issue. What it is our economic aspiration in this. One, we are looking at, they told me in Walmart that Nigeria cannot qualify, and no Nigerian company can qualify to supply into Walmart because the parameters are steep. But where you see those challenges is actually where economic prosperity. Take Adenike's venture, for example, and use it as a case to empower enough women to produce kuli that goes to 10 million members of Costco and probably another 10 million of Walmart. It's an opportunity to build the capacity of Nigerian men, of Nigerian farmers, to actually concentrate on product development that is targeted at a particular market that has an end export proceeds in sight.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, if you are getting $19,000 per hectare or per ton, you can extrapolate and say, if we are able to develop, for example, 10,000 women who are only going to produce kuli for an existing market of Walmart and Costco, Nigeria stands to earn $1.9 billion per month or per annum from kuli. That then takes us to the need of not just market development now, but international standardization and compliance. So it can actually become a national project we can focus on. And if we succeed in Granite, we can succeed in Ijebugari, we can succeed in Okomu palm oil, we can succeed in Gum Arabic. That's my submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that powerful recommendation. And indeed, that's the path to go for prosperity.
Wow.
Yes. So how many more people raise their hands? We need to take this very quickly. I just want to be sure. My friend in the red cap. Oh my God.
I'm sorry, Madam Moderator, if we can combine the questions
Yes,
to save
that's
time.
what we want to do. Yes.
Yes.
We are going to do it all at once. You're going to take notes at any care. So one person here and two at the back. Am I right? These two, yes.
Yeah,
So three more people. Let's run this. 30 seconds. That's the time you have to ask. Quickly.
Thank you very much. So
Thank
my
you.
question,
Right on, please.
I'm excited about your idea for many reasons, but my focus is on the no waste part, where you want to recycle the husk of the groundnuts into paper bags. The question I want to ask is, since you're working with research and a research institute, have you checked people's allergies to, because some people have very serious peanut allergies, which might affect how far those bags can go, but they're a big need, especially when we're focusing on renewables and biodegradable stuff. So is there any research as to the allergy profile of those bags
All right.
to see how far they can go?
Thank you. The next person. Yes. Don't forget the man in red cap, please. He's probably the last person to ask this question. Okay. Someone has been given the microphone. Okay, they're coming to you now.
I want to thank you, moderator, Mrs. Titi Ojo. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
At the expense of not changing my name is Omonigo Otanocha.
So
Thank you. My comments are, Madam, I like peanuts. I'm from Ugwerun, Delta State. We make one of the best granules in this country. Okay. My point is that I think you need to connect with the man that does organic food so that you could leverage on what they call a community of practice. For example, every university, they all have cooperatives. And agriculture is somewhere anybody can invest in without having problems with the financial regulators. Also to commend that Fred Fayomi, who's behind me here, mentioned about carbon credit. We can help you out with that because if you are converting husk, which will naturally ferment or degrade to form methane, which affects the carbon, climate change, climate action. You can actually convert them to green energy, husk. We have done research in that. We have published, and we also have patents on that. We can support you with that.
Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's beautiful. So that's all right. I think there's one more hand. Are we okay? Okay, there's one more hand somewhere there. So that's the last person. And after that, please, you just have about 2 minutes. Just answer these questions very quickly.
Thank you so much. My name is Oluwaseun Mabika. I'm representing the Managing Director at Financing and Partnerships Africa. I would really love to work with you to get financing. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So over to you.
All right, thank you very much. I would like you to run to my slides, to the last slide where you have the national loss by not having. Let's just keep it there for me. The last slide, I would use it to answer one of the questions.
You have 1 minute more.
I would come to you, sir, and take more knowledge. There's no man that is a wealth of knowledge. You have to always collaborate. That's why I'm in this kind of room. And thank you to NDIS. So the carbon credits, I would just mention that we are also making briquettes out of the shells of the groundnut. And that briquette, to tell you, the interesting part of our findings is that the briquettes can go to power the rotary dryer that we have found. So you see that we are reducing energy usage and by using the briquettes to power the rotary dryer. So we're working on the carbon credits. The paper bags one is part of trying to do the circularity work, which we partner with Lagos State government and trying to see how the circularity economy can be empowered. So that takes me to your question, Ma. We're still on research level. Research is one of the greatest key area to help small businesses to push because it takes part of our chunk of finances. So if you have any idea in that area, I'm very welcome and open to it. On the groundnut pyramid, if you look at my shirt very well, that is the dream I'm carrying in my heart, and it will come back to Nigeria. I want somebody to say amen with me. So on the groundnut pyramid, it will come back. It's our heritage and will come back. Now, on the export level, the last slide, I don't know, my slide, I wanted to show you to emphasize what he was talking about. The target for export is not just for us to export products. You and I agree that if I have to produce 200 million kulikuli for Nigerians to eat, we cannot even finish eating it. But the export level is to do two things for me. To restore the image of the national flag of Nigeria. We can export and we can sit in Walmart. It's already been done. Real Fruits have done it. Some other women are doing it. And I will also do it by the grace of God. So we can export to bring foreign exchange into Nigeria. That is my reason of exporting. And when I stood before World Bank to tell them about what I was doing, I won a project to a training in America, and I did a 7-month rigorous training on this product and analysis to make me export ready. One of the statements the World Bank woman said to me, and I will say it here again, she said, why are you so concerned about removing aflatoxins from groundnut? Can't you just produce it like that? I said, my people do not deserve to eat junks. As much as your people deserve to eat what is best, my people, Nigerians, deserve to eat the best. So I'm producing the best for you because you deserve to eat the best. Let me say to you, 30% protein is in this groundnut. Every child eating this is better than eating biscuits. That is a brain functionality. That is immune boosting. That is more than enough for a child to be in his well state to study hard. So it should not be sold less.
Let's put hands together for Adenike. She's so passionate.
That's what.
She has a stand outside though, and she has a product. So it'll be great if you go pick a pack.
Yes, I'll be available to answer all questions.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. So. Okay,
please note that most of our teachers are around. You can always
you.
catch up with them during some leisure time or during the break.
Thank you very much.
I'm also visiting yours. That was the place I visited first when I arrived today.
Oh, the
kulikuli. It was your kulikuli stand.
Oh my goodness.
I told them I was coming
That's
back.
the best snacks that exist in the world.
All right,
I can tell you about
it. Awesome presentation. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you. Your Excellencies, we are privileged to have the Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, I'm told, represented. Is the representative of the ministry here, please? The representative of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, that's the new name. Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security. Is the representative here? Oh, yes, he is. Sir, please, we welcome you, sir. That's the representative. We welcome you, sir. And we will be giving you, so we were told that the ministry would want to tell diasporans what they are looking for, what they really want to take Nigeria to the next level in terms of agriculture and food security. So we've identified the representative of the minister, and we'll be bringing him up in a bit, just after the last picture for agriculture. Madam Moderator.
All right. So we're heading to the end of the pitching before we now get our representative of the minister to speak with us. The last person, the last but not the least, his name is Martins. Mr. Martins, are you here? Hello, are you here? If you're here, please wave. Oh, thank you very much. So we have the last pitching. The agri pitch has been the longest, and I think it's still the longest in this program. But I believe we've made some good pitching has happened, and some renewal of hope, right? Make we go farm. Oh my God. Yes.
What is his name?
Okay. My slide, please.
You have 3 minutes.
My name is Onapama Martins, the founder and president of Quebec Foods, the convener of the initiative Make We Go Farm across Nigeria, and also officially endorsed recently by the National Food Stamp Program. Quebec Food is a registered company incorporated in 2002. And when we started, we focused on how we can revitalize revamp existing integrated farm estates, processing plants and all that are shut down as a result of COVID or lack of pre-funding and all that, bailout funds for them to restart. So last year I was here and I pitched about the Make We Go Farm initiative. I want to say to Nigerians in diaspora today that we have been able to do the first edition, the second, the third, and the fourth. We suspended the fifth edition because of clash of activities. We wanted to do it this week so that Nigerians in diaspora can also be part. So quickly, please, I need my slide. I'll be sharing with Nigerians today what we call the farmland lease allocation and farm financing model as a solution to food insecurity and food insufficiency in Nigeria. While my slide is coming up, I'm asking for 4.5 billion, which will be spread into cultivation of 500 hectares of cassava, 500 hectares of rice, setting up a cassava gari processing plant, and as well a rice mill of two designs, automated and parboiling system, to ensure that we can be able to produce about 2 trucks in a day to serve most especially palliatives that we have had opportunities in last year, which we are still looking at to have. The fund will be splitted in that manner so that we can achieve one of the problems we have seen. The issue now is for Quebec to deliver in terms of capacity. We have been able to achieve two major opportunities to be able to provide food for the Nigerian Civil Defense Corps nationwide across the 36 states. And also we launched the program called the Food Production Contribution Program. This is to make sure that every vulnerable Nigerian that cannot afford 3 square meals should be able to be part of this. But thank God that the federal government have seen where we are going through the support and the assistance with Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Bank of Agriculture, NAFDAC, FCCP, and all that, buying into our initiative, seeing that what we are talking about is the real thing. And I want to be happy, I'm happy today that the representative of the minister is here. I want to let Nigerians know that the government is doing everything possible to make sure that no Nigerian go to bed hungry. And that is part of the reason we are doing this now. So if they can't pick my slide, I go straight. If you have this pamphlet,
you're almost done.
If you have this pamphlet, what we are doing is that we want to see how we can cultivate 500 hectares of farmland across all the train stations we have in Nigeria. From the Itakpe train station to the last one in Delta State, from FCT Abuja to Kaduna, from Yaba Lagos to Ibadan. What are we going to do is to make sure that every household become a farmer. What they just need to do is to contribute 35% equity. And the financial institution like Bank of Agriculture and African Development Bank provides 65% of that funds. What we want to do, everyone that has a farmland in this country, we no longer sell their inheritance. You make that land available to Quebec and our strategic partners, and what you get over 12 million as annual lease fee for just releasing your land to Nigerians to farm. Secondly, when we now look at cassava value chain, you should be able to earn as a family more than 92 million naira yearly for just cassava farm. So if this suits what you want and you feel this is what Nigeria needs, this is the only solution. People have been talking about product, but I'm concerned about we can feed a growing population that is dying of starvation and hunger. We are seeing people who want to farm, but they are scared of their life. And that is what we have succeeded in doing to make sure that the Commander General of Nigerian Civil Defense Corps partner with us to provide security. For issue of security, there will be no problem for Nigerians who want to farm. Issues of access to farmland, no problem anymore. Issue to access to fund will not be a problem. The Bank of Agriculture is ready to do that. And for every Nigerian that wants to farm, the business is open for you to partner with Quebec. So the train stations is to mitigate the issue of transport. Because the problem is, today we produce rice. And people make over 30,000 naira in just one bag of rice.
You should be wrapping up.
One bag of rice. Is it affordable to Nigerians? As a processor and as a producer, from 150 kg bag of rice, you can do it within 78,000. Why sell rice to Nigerians at 100 and something thousand? So for those of us here in diaspora, we are subsidizing rice for you if you are interested for 89,500. As far you can buy up to 50 and above. Thank you and God bless. I take my question.
Please, let's clap for him, Mr. Martins. You could see his passion. He wanted to come to the center and continue Well, you see, you have to go back to the microphone. We're sorry that.
I'm sorry, ma.
Yeah, it's okay. It's passion.
Our farm estate
It's
unveiled
passion that
at the
led
fourth
you away from the
edition,
mic.
and the Federal Ministry of Agriculture is aware of this. Bank of
Okay.
Agriculture, all the agencies were working to see that.
So let's take feedback. Thank you. Let's get questions. Someone's hand is up already. Are there other questions? If you have a question, please don't hesitate to raise up your hand.
Hello, my dear. I like your passion. The concern I have is you seem to be eating the whole elephant in one bite.
Okay.
You know, we say the way to eat an elephant is one bite at a time. The ask is how much again?
4.5 billion.
You see. Is there no way you can scale this from pilot to the next phase, someone to plunk in 4 billion into a new enterprise? I saw your 3D video. So it appears there's nothing concrete on the ground as we speak, and you want to jump to 4 billion. My advice, good idea, I like your passion, scale it down so people can begin to bite and succeed.
Thank you, Prof.
All right, thank you. The second person, just a minute.
Okay.
Someone raised a hand at this side. Did someone raise a hand here? We saw a hand up. Yes. Hello? There's someone in front. Ajia, behind the couch there. Ajia, the mic is coming to you.
Hello again. I would like to commend him on his passion for what he does, but still I'm emphasizing on quality and like the gentleman said, maybe you can, bring it down. Just don't try to take it big so that you can control the quality. Quality is very important. It's very important for us in diaspora. Thank you.
Okay, he wanted to respond. Is there any other person with a question? Okay, so.
Okay, Prof, I take
yes.
the first question. This is not a startup. As I speak to you, what we have done before now is to partner with existing mills and factories. And what we get is disappointment. At as May this year, we gave out 1,000 bags of 5 kg gari to 1,000 households in FCT. The issue here today is we have the market, and we feel the best thing to do to sustain in cassava, you must go into the planting. We have our director of processing who works and manages flour mill cassava processing value chain at Ogun State. Have 12 experience in this value chain. So we are not a startup. And the site we are talking about is just by Kokona local government here. It's one of the sites we are opening so that Nigerians can feed. I've related with the poor. When you say poor, people are dying of food. And people no longer buy semovita. The best they go for now is gari and fufu. So I want to say this because it's an opportunity. All agri pictures today, there is a market, and I want us to work together as a team. Not just coming to NDIS to pitch. We want to feed our growing population. I just announced to you that we have been endorsed by the National Food Stamp Program. That tells you a market. That tells you Nigerians need to eat. This is to ensure that the palliative funds are no longer spent anyhow. They want to work with processors to see that every vulnerable in this country gets food to eat. And people want to farm. We can only provide that opportunity for them where security is guaranteed. They have access to farmland. People don't sell their farmland anymore. So we needed that 4.5 billion. About 500 and something million goes for cassava farm. At per tonnage of, cost of per one tonnage is 1,162,000. At a net profit, you get 3.8 million. For the rice value chain, we are talking about 500 hectares, ought to be done in Nasarawa State. I've gone through parts in this country, and I've seen that if we want to solve the issue of price control for Nigerians so that the begging spirit that has taken over this country, that people can no longer feed, we need to team together with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture with good ideas to see that people can feed for themselves. People want to farm, but the issue is they are scared of security. Herdsmen. This has been resolved. Thank you.
Wow. Now we have, it reminds me of activists, like, the activists like, yes! And indeed, this is our collective it's a collective responsibility, truly. Not just only to Mr. Martins, but to every one of us. There's so much we need to do to make this, the agri sector boom again. There are so many challenges, and we've had about 15 presentations, pitches, since we arrived here. And Glad is the last pitcher, and it's like the conscience just calling us to this. Any way we can support. Like Prof said, the way to eat an elephant is to eat it a bit at a time. There's so much you put down on the table. It's about structuring it in a way that is manageable, and you can replicate the success of one pilot over the rest. That's quite important, especially when you want to implement projects like this. We need to bite it. The elephant has to be eaten a bite at a time. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're doing great work. Well
Just to
done.
round people,
Well done.
the Center for Climate Change has endorsed us, and each of the institutions that are handling agri courses are going to be partnered with the Make We Go Farm movement. It's a movement for positive change. I said it last year that watch how it will grow. We have succeeded 4 sessions now, and Nigerians wants to farm.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Mr. MC, is Mr. MC here?
Thank you very much.
Okay.
So as I announced earlier, but unfortunately I'm told that the representative of the minister is not able to wait and has stepped out. But we do have the vice president of NASME, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Dr. Nura Bello. And he's coming up now. Please welcome him with a round of applause to tell us. Okay, before him, I announced earlier that we have Senator Dr. Victor Ume OFR here with us, and I know that he has something to say about agriculture, and he also knows what the government wants from the diasporans. Please welcome distinguished Senator Chairman, Senate Committee on Diaspora and NGOs, Anambra Central Senatorial District, Senator Dr. Victor C. Ume OFR. Distinguished, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure to be here once again. I was here yesterday, and today I try to free myself from the other engagements I have to come and look in again and see how it has been going here with all of you. I hope you've been having very fruitful deliberations. When I came in, the pitching session is on agriculture. And from what I heard, about 15 presentations have been made. The truth is that agriculture remains the best opportunities we have to be able to develop our economy. With the vast lands we have and the very fertile soils, we're in a position to produce what we can eat and what we can export to other countries of the world. So many discussions have been made on the food items that have been ferried from Africa to the United States to Europe and so on and so forth. Yam, cocoyam, and other agri crops that we have been producing without any effort to mechanize their processes. God so endowed us that we have been planting these crops and we have been harvesting bountifully. Now the challenge is on the agri value chain. The products we have, both cattle, cassava. The young man who has just spoken very passionately about the things we can do with the cassava is the truth that he has told us. If we put our attention on how to harness these agri products and transform them, reproduce them into the forms that they will be demanded, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria, we have contributed so much towards diversifying the economy of Nigeria. Many people look at Nigeria as an oil-rich nation, and forgetting that oil is taking the back seat globally in terms of revenue generation. Agric is it. I've traveled extensively both to the United States, to Canada, to Europe, and I know that agriculture is the mainstay of most nations. The first thing that will make you great is for you to be self-sufficient in food production. Because if you're able to feed your population, you can go into adventure to do other things, other scientific programs. But if you can't feed yourself, you continue to struggle. There will be hunger. Nigeria, everybody is hungry today. Most of their population are looking for food. Any place you see people sharing palliatives, you see thousands of people lining up to get something to eat. But yet, we once had the program called Operation Feed the Nation here in years back, where we were encouraged to produce what we can eat. At least every family can produce what that family needs to survive from January to December. The extra will be what you contribute to the market. So let's go farm that came here. You are marketing a very good initiative that everybody should return to farming. If you can't go into commercial farming, you can go into subsistence farming so that you can survive and feed your families. Yesterday I was here and I was happy to listen to all the presentations. And I know that the things people have expressed here today will add to those said yesterday. My own is to come back and say thank you people for coming. This Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, we are holding it in Nigeria. I'm also the lookout, like I've been telling the chairman of NIDCOM, that to have to carry this investment summit to where you live. It's not easy for people to leave their businesses where you live abroad to come to Nigeria to participate in Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit. If we're able to bring it nearer to you in your various locations, I'm sure we'll have wider and larger participation. So the Commission will be working towards that, bearing financial constraints. But I know that if we're able to come and do this in the various regions of the world, Nigerians will be in more number to attend, to be able to buy into these things. We'll come with Nigeria Investment Promotion Council and other agencies of government that have something to present to our diaspora community. So I thank you for making out time, despite the high cost of flying now. You're able to leave your stations to come to Nigeria. And like I said yesterday, this one being hosted at the seat of government to Nigeria shows you how serious the government of the day is about our diaspora community. So we need you. We need your collaboration. I would like to say that when you are going back, may the Almighty God lead you back safely until we have another platform. This one is an annual event. Next year you come again. When you come to Nigeria, one day we'll come to America, we'll come to Canada, we'll go to the UK, where we will be nearer to you. And anything we're able to carry, we'll carry over. And the business plans and programs that are already developed by various agencies of government. The Agriculture Ministry today is one of the most funded ministries in Nigeria through appropriation, because we know that if we don't invest in commercial agriculture through mechanization of our farms and probably ranching to produce this meat, which can be canned and sent abroad, we will be beating about the bush. So Agric has very large chunk of our national budget for 2024. And the National Assembly is determined to increase provision for that sector in 2025 budget. Because if we get our agri sector working, a lot of our problems will be reduced. Having participated in this conference, this summit, if you are going back, if there is anything you have discovered that you consider as impediments towards your coming to invest in Nigeria, and you think legislation will help to solve the problem, you can articulate them, send to the Madam Diaspora, Right Honorable Abike Dabrielewa. He can pass it to us. Then we will address it through our legislative processes to remove those things that may be impeding you from coming home easily to do anything in any sector of Nigeria. So that's the offer we have for you from the National Assembly. And as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Diaspora, on behalf of the National Assembly, I want to thank you. Tomorrow I will not be available. That's why I made sure that I'm here to say thank you for coming and wish you a safe journey back to your locations. I'll be traveling to London in the morning. Otherwise, I would have been here tomorrow to be part of every part of this process. So I thank you very much, and we look forward to having you next year, NDIS, here in Nigeria. I don't know where Abike will hold next year on, whether it will be Abuja or Lagos or wherever. Anambra, we are ready. We are ready. So be assured of our esteemed considerations and our appreciation of the immense contributions you are making towards the development of this country. So God bless you and thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
A round of applause for distinguished senator.
What is this one? Clapping, okay.
Yeah, that's the
Mr.
clapping.
MC, I want to officially close the panel. And yes, I want to take pictures with the honorable.
Okay, so we'll take pictures quickly with distinguished. The Right Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa and the dignitaries in the front seats. Dr. Badewa. Dr. Badewa, please, quickly, for photograph. The members of the committee who are around. I know I saw Dr. Bassi, if he's around. Dr. Bassi, sir, please join for photograph, sir. Dr. Yakubu Bassi, if he's around. The focal persons from the 36 states of the Federation, please join for photograph. The King from Canada, please join for photograph. The Vice President, Nigerian Association of Small and Medium Enterprises, Dr. Nura Bello, NASME VP, please join. The NASME VP, please join for photograph. Dr. Nura Bello. Thank you very much. Thank you. So we'll quickly take a brief remark from the Director General, or rather the Vice President of NASME, Nigeria Association of Small. Okay, we'll need to go online. We'll need to go online now. We have mentioned previously that Mr. John Olajide will be online to interact with us, and I'm told he's there now. Yes, we can see you. Can you hear us, sir?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you see and hear me clearly?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you. So you're welcome.
Thank you.
Go ahead. So like we mentioned, we heard him in the morning, and we'll be taking questions or interactions for him. But for those who probably didn't meet up with the morning statement he made, can we request, sir, that you just very briefly do a summary of what you said in the morning, and then we'll take responses.
Thank you very much. You can hear me loud and clear, correct?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to share my thoughts. I stand on all existing protocol, as they say in Nigeria, but I want to especially recognize the chairman and CEO of the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Right Honorable Abike Dabere Erawan, for the opportunity to have this conversation and for putting on an incredible summit. And I heard someone call her earlier Madam Diaspora. I know she works tirelessly to advance the interests of Nigerians everywhere, and I think we should really especially commend her for all the work that she does. In my early comments, I shared my story, shared a lot of my background, and I talked about the work that I do. I'm dialed in here from Dallas, Texas, where one of my companies, Access, is headquartered, and we're the leading provider of technology services for healthcare at home all over the world. We're all over the U.S. and operate on 4 continents, so we're the industry leader in our space globally. And in addition to that, I also invest actively in Nigeria through a company called Covista Holdings. It's a holdings company, and we have investments in various sectors. We have investments in technology. We own Covista Technologies. It may surprise you to know that it's the largest employer of software engineers in Nigeria. It's headquartered in Lagos, Ilopeju to be precise. We're also in the hospitality space. About 2.5 years ago, we took over the concession for a Kogosi resort. It's a national treasure that everyone knows, and we've turned it around now and continue to make investments there. And it's been voted 2 years in a row now as the best holiday resort destination in Nigeria. And I invite all of you to go see it. And I'm glad that we turned that around from a complete state of dilapidation to a world-class tourism and hospitality asset. And for me, that underscores what is possible when people are committed. One of my favorite quotes is that whatever your mind can conceive of and you believe and work hard, you can achieve. So I believe that a turnaround that's happened, for instance, in the Kogosi Resort, is indicative of the turnaround that we all want to see happen in Nigeria, where it's about prosperity and a lot of progress. I'm also a farmer. You know, I'm known as a technology leader globally, but I'm also proud to be a humble farmer. We own a farm in Ekiti State called Agbeyawa Farms. Feel free to go visit it online, agbeyawa.com. And we're into the cassava value chain. So we have a 10,000 hectare our own farm site, and then we have a partnership with the state government to cultivate up to 100,000 hectares through an outgrower scheme where we involve smallholder farmers in everything that we're doing. And what's beautiful about what we're doing is, in addition to our own farm, we have guaranteed market offtakes, meaning all the cassava that's cultivated over the 100,000 hectares, we will buy and eventually process. So we want to make sure one of the biggest challenges that farmers face is access to market. In addition to giving them access to market, we're also providing all the inputs and extension services and support to help them be successful. And I think before I continue, it's important to share the reasons why I'm investing in Nigeria. There are 3 reasons. The first is to create jobs for people. That's my number 1 reason. And the second reason is to create more jobs.
All right.
And I'm sure now you can guess what the third reason is. It's even more jobs. So my 3 reasons for investing in Nigeria is jobs, jobs, jobs.
All right, sir. We want to take questions.
Helps address a lot of the challenge, unemployment, the rest of us, and all the things that's in the country. So
all right.
That's a summary of really what
yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. So we'll take responses. First, I would hand the mic to, responses. That's 1. Any other? Okay, so let's take you. Please come forward. Yes. Yes, can we see him on the screen, please? And then, go ahead. Go ahead. So here we go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Olajide. I don't know if it's morning or afternoon in Dallas, Texas.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, it's morning. It's 7:15 a.m. here.
Hi. So I heard your talk about tech and hospitality. and that directly falls into what we're doing. So I would like to understand what would be what you're looking for in Nigeria now, and how can we leverage on each other's resources to create mutual benefit?
Thank you very much for the question. Earlier I mentioned how my primary reason for investing in the country is jobs, jobs, jobs. And to do that, we cannot do it alone. So I'm interested in making sure I support an ecosystem to help others be as successful as possible. So in the tech space, we want to make sure the engineers that work for us are serving global clients, and we want to continue to upskill them and support them to be very successful. Some of them have gone on to go invest and build their own companies. I support and invest in that. So we want to make sure we're strengthening the ecosystem and working with everyone in the tech ecosystem to help them be successful and bringing our global know-how to make things work. So I'm sure you can send me a note later through the chairperson, and we can find a way to, so you can be connected to what we're doing, and we can find a way to be helpful. Similarly, in the hospitality space, our goal again is to continue to provide as many resources for everyone. The Kogosi result that I mentioned is just really a way to, we wanted to go find the most difficult asset to invest in and turn it around and prove that we can do that. So our vision is to be the leading provider of hospitality assets across the African continent. And so we'll have projects in the pipeline for world-class hospitality assets in Lagos and Abuja to start with, and other markets. And we're investing in other places. So our philosophy is to work with others, to partner with others. So feel free to reach out and let's see. And we're connected to the ecosystems that we're working, whether it's the technology group in Nigeria or even the Hotel Managers Association and things like that. We're very plugged in and connected to all those communities, and I invite you to be a member of that. And let's find ways to connect offline. But one of our philosophies is to make sure we're connected to the ecosystem in an industry that we are part of, because we believe a rising tide lifts all boats, and want to make sure everyone succeeds together. And the last thing that I'll say is, I've mentioned how we want to create jobs and create jobs and create jobs. And the way we invest is beyond just making money. Our approach is want to create value and transform lives. So wherever we invest, things get better. So your idea of wanting to reach out a partner lines up very naturally with how we conduct business and how we approach business. So look forward to connecting some more.
Okay, with the last question, can we appreciate our brother, Mr. Niyo Lajide? Thank you so much for your very inspirational speech this morning. And I remember you asked us a pertinent question, what we're willing to do for our country. And I thank you for what you are doing for your country. As you see him, he's just been humble. Niyi is one of the richest guys in the whole wide world. But he's not keeping his riches in America. He came to Nigeria to change things. He's the largest employer of labor from the diaspora. Please clap for this fine gentleman. So, and he's from Ekiti, Kete. Look at them. And Ikogosi Warm Spring, Mr. Olajide single-handedly renovated and remodeled the Ikogosi Warm Spring to be one of the biggest tourist attractions in the world today. So he's just a humble person. But Mr. Olajide, by our next NDIS, we also want your company to invest in some of the pitches that we have seen here today. A lot of amazing young men and women who have business that I know that Access can invest in. Thank you very much. We want to see you in person next year for Diaspora Day, for Diaspora Investment Summit, and we'll go hold to the next one in Ikogosi Warm Spring. Do we agree? Yeah. Thank you, my brother. We appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the opportunity. I wish you a successful rest of the summer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We need to also appreciate him. It's 3 a.m., right, where you are?
No. It's now it's 7:20 a.m.
Oh, it's a.m. So thank you very much for staying up for this. Please, another round of applause for him. With this, we conclude this session as we now move on immediately to the next pitching session. And this is about healthcare. We need to do this with dispatch. So I want to invite quickly the moderator, Dr. Friday Okbo Ujuju, consultant, Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology, Wuse District Hospital, Abuja, Nigeria. There he comes. Please, a round of applause for Dr. Friday. We also have Otumba Lekon Ewenla. Otumba Lekon Ewenla, is he around? Yes, he is. Please to the stage. Thank you. Please a round of applause for them. Now we have pictures. Teve Michael Nse. Teve is there. Teve, please come up. Mfo Nta. Is Mfo Nta here? Mfo Nta, are you here? Okay. Olubori Onosoya. Olubori Onosoya. Here? Yes. Salifu Ernest. Here? Tinu Olanrewaju Okebukola. Okay. Ayo Adebamiwo. Is Ayo here?
It's online.
Okay, he's online. Okay, Ayo. We feel you. Fatima Bello. Are you here online? Then we have Donyi Adeshida. Is Donyi here online? Online. So we'll take the first speaker.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here.
Just before we take him, I'll keep a chair for the interventionists to join also. The interventionist for the healthcare, Mrs. Adiola Dorcas Folorunshaw. Please a round of applause for her. Do we have Mrs. Dayobong Etim? Is she here? Dayobong Etim? Oh, she is. Please come up. I'll put a chair for you. Please come up. Please a round of applause for her as well. They'll serve as interventionists. So we'll need to do this with dispatch. So Mr. Tevense, you have 3 minutes. Your time starts now.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here. My name is Michael. I'm from the SEDO Initiative for Children with Special Needs, SECHID. We are here to ask for 200 million to build a home for children with cerebral palsy. While thousands of Nigerian children with cerebral palsy are highly discriminated against and in some communities outrightly killed, there are limited homes to take care of these children. Thus, SECHID. SECHID was birthed from the experience of a couple who had 2 children with cerebral palsy. Though these children are past now, SECHID has remained a home for many more Nigerian children with cerebral palsy. We've had over 300 children in our center since our session. We have impacted way over 5,000 children and their caregivers. We currently have 17 children in the center, but the demand continues to rise. We currently occupy a 4-bedroom apartment and a 3-rooms office area valued at over 150 million naira. And the land we intend to develop is valued at over 50 million naira. Both properties were donated by our founder, but we've not been alone. We have had a lot of support from different organizations, including Nigerians in Diaspora Euro, who has visited us twice. And this year, they helped us register our children and staff for a 1-year national health insurance scheme. MTN Foundation has given us food for 2 consecutive years. We've received a bus from Worship for Change. We also partner and collaborate with the government through different ministries, departments, and agencies like the Social Development Board, who refers children to us. And recently, we signed a memorandum of understanding with the federal government through the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. In terms of organizational assessment, we file our annual returns with the Corporate Affairs Commission and our audited accounts with the Federal Inland Revenue Service. We also have core members. We've been recognized by different...
So you have 1 minute. You want to do your ask now, please.
Thank you. We've been recognized by different organizations and we have core members. Your money is not only going to provide shelter for these children, it is going to also ensure the sustainability of this initiative. And in return for your massive investment, you stand the opportunity to receive naming rights to several aspects of the building, including the halls, the dormitories, the therapy rooms, and others. You could also become an advisory board member. You could also be immortalized in such as history through a wall of fame. You also have rights to media and social prints recognition, among several other juicy offers. On behalf of the thousands of Nigerian children whom you are about to impact, I say thank you, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
So, thank you, Mr. Michael, for the wonderful work you're doing. At this point, we would like to
Finally, does anybody have any question?
Yes, so if you have a question, raise your hand.
Raise your
The
hand,
moderator has opened the floor. We'll just take one. Please raise your hand if there's any. If there isn't, we go straight to the interventionist. Mr. Moderator, it's back to you.
It's okay.
The interventionist.
Okay, that was a very wonderful one.
Thank you very much.
Globally, there are about 29 million disabilities in Nigeria, It means that the number is increasing. And I heard that you have like 4-bedroom apartments.
Yes.
How you
For
in-
children,
For how many children?
17 children.
17 children.
Yeah.
How is that well spaced and how, because they need a lot of aids to be able to manage this development of so how are you doing that? And
That
how-
is one of the issues we have, and that's why we're here. The space is not enough. That's why we need to expand.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how have you been recruiting these people? How do you bring them into your organization?
Okay, so we work with different organizations, including Social Development Board. We have a child currently who was referred by Social Development Board. We also have children that we've rescued. We have a story of a child called Teso. Teso was declared for dead. He was asked to be killed before we rescued him. As we speak, he's in school of the deaf in Kuje. We rescued him. He's in our center, and so many other children like that. So there are times we get referred by government agencies. There are times we get referred by other people like you, and then Nigerians in diaspora, and so many other organizations. Yeah.
So we take the next interventionist.
Thank you.
We have Mrs. Doye Obong Etim.
Okay, can I say something?
Sure, sir.
My name is Otumbali Kwewinla. I am the Managing Director, CEO of Ultimate SHMO. I think it's important for us to begin to expand our requests for investment at this kind of platform. For instance, I want to highlight the fact that with what you're doing, all you didn't do, first of all, is to try and reach out to the National Health Insurance Authority and seek for possibly the accreditation of your facility, no matter how small it might be. Because the moment you succeed in achieving that, that could lead to the enlistment of your facility on the network of facilities that will provide services such as you do for Nigerian children, okay? And that could drive systematic flow of enrollees or patients to your facility. I personally want you to look at that direction. I could also be of assistance to you, maybe after this outing, so that I don't just be coming to us for funds. Another thing I want us to begin to note, which I think I have said briefly while I was on the floor, is the need for us to begin to unpack our needs thoroughly and professionally. It's not all about asking for funds. We should be looking at what exactly do we need to do. If you need professional support, I think you should begin to look out for that. Because coming up here to request for funds goes beyond just asking. We need to understand the fact that we need to put our best foot forward, and starting with the integrity. People need to see how committed and how serious-minded you are when you are putting all these requests forward. So for me to be part of this, I really want us to begin to broaden our requests and not just limiting it to requests for financial support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. In the absence of any other question?
Can I react to that?
Okay, want to react to that?
Yes, we have an interventionist. I think we've not heard from Mrs. Doye Obong Etim.
Okay.
Very interesting listening to you.
Thank you very much.
What you said. Now, what came to my mind was, I think Mrs. Adiola mentioned something close to that, was how can this needy children get to you? So my thinking will now be the health financing aspect of it. How are they able to, we know health care is costly, it's not cheap, it doesn't come cheap. So how are they able to pay the bills? Are there ways you can maybe partner with health financing bodies? For instance, my name is Diabong Vitalisatim, I'm from NMPC HMO. So for the HMO aspect, for NMPC HMO, we're looking at, one of the things we're looking at actually ways we can ensure that health financing is taken care of. Where the need is identified, how are this need being made in terms of the funds, and how can they get this payment made? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just quick follow up with that. I specifically this morning followed you on LinkedIn to see what you're doing. Yeah. You need more visibility. Yeah. You need, with that, it will help with partnership and collaboration. Yeah. Because of the statistics in Nigeria of people with disability, there's a whole lot of work to be done. You cannot do it by yourself. So you need to build your visibility, but more than it is right now. Okay?
Thank you very much. Let's give a round of applause.
I'm not to react, sir.
You're done?
I'm not to react.
No.
Do you need to react? There are pieces of advice. So, Mr. Moderator, it's back to you.
Okay. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you.
It's all right. So, without wasting much time, we'll call on Mr. Mfon Nta, Biocybernetics, to come up to the stage.
Mfon Nta, are you here? I think it's a she.
Okay, she. Round of applause.
You have 3 minutes. Your time is already counting.
Please go straight to the point.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I prepared a speech here. My name is Dr. Mfon Nta, and I stand before you today not just to present a company, but to share a vision. A vision that intertwines the rich heritage of African medicine with cutting-edge technology. We believe that healthcare should be immensely beneficial to everyone in the health pipeline, from us, the patients, to the healthcare provider, to the research scientists, to the technology builders, and to the system. The future of healthcare is incredibly exciting, but here is the reality. If we're not building it ourselves, we will be left waiting for solutions that are not designed with our needs in mind. We're losing our brilliant minds to more lucrative opportunities abroad, and it's up to us to change that story. We're offering 7% of our company equity for 425 million Nigerian naira. This investment will fuel our expansion and innovation, supporting the critical components of our mission and enabling groundbreaking health solutions tailored to our communities. Our biotechnological laboratory development is at the core of our operations. It's a space for advancing precision medicine, biocomputing, and neurotechnology. This laboratory will drive revenue through licensing, partnerships, and the development of neurochips that harness biological community for sustainable data processing. These innovations position us as a leader in health data analysis and artificial intelligence-driven diagnostics, creating solutions that are truly designed for the African context. We deeply understand the transformative power of research. Just last month, our work was quoted in the New York Times after being published in Nature Scientific Journal, where we highlighted a major gap in medical device data. This research underscores the critical need for inclusive data in health technology, as mistakes in this field are costly and every population deserves accurate healthcare solutions. We are thrilled to have world-renowned collaborators such as Ifedayo Emmanuel, a visionary neurophysicist at the University of Oregon and the inventor of retinotopic mechanics, a pioneering framework showing how interconnected neurons function within a neural force field. Additionally, Professor Adamski, head of the Unconventional Computing Laboratory at Bristol, has offered his collaboration and support on our mission.
Dr. Nta, you have just 1 minute. You may want to do your ask.
Yeah. Here is the truth. Without our data, artificial intelligence cannot serve us the way it's supposed to. This data means data collected from the perspective of an artificial intelligence engineer. Our artificial intelligence engineers, myself included, are focused on building models that reflect the complexities of our people's health. Imagine a world where your medical intervention is not based on generic data, but on understanding the life of your family, the conditions they have overcome, and the strengths they have cultivated. I say all this to mean that it can be done, and the only way that future exists is the one we create. Thank you.
Thank you very much. How many percent equity are you offering?
Okay. We are offering 7% of our company equity for 425 million Nigerian naira.
Great.
Apart from this, we are also open to partnership, collaborations, and other negotiations.
Is that right? Thank you. Do you have any clarification, any question from the audience?
Okay, there's one here. There's one here.
Good afternoon, everyone. The pitch you just listened to is one of those that we put in quite a bit of work. I'm sure you know by now that there's a team at the back there doing the work in here, preparing these people. But on this, I just want to say to you, take your time. This is all you could get in the little time window of 3 minutes, 90 seconds, whatever. There is a lot more. So I will encourage anybody who's interested to make time and engage with this. This is a genius at work. If you understood what we have put before you, save the video of today and ask me about it in a few years. This is one of the best things I have seen coming out of Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
We can show it all here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Any other one? We can take only one more. Just one more. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm Tunde Balogun. Thank you, doctor. I'll look my comment and question from consultancy perspective.
Okay.
You're fine. Research scientists or biotechnology, you made reference to laboratory research. Is there a methodological approach to that?
Yes, there is. So in my research that I did with the Stanford Medical University that was published in New York Times, yes. So we gathered data from over 600 research papers that were used to build federal medical devices in the US. And then we thoroughly went through these papers like one by one, and then we recorded the data we were getting. So that's where we got our results from.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you very much. The interventionist, please.
Again, well done. I think there's a question. And carry on.
I think it's okay. That will be the last question. The last question, please. The last. Oh, I don't. We are short of time. Let's move. You can engage with her later. You engage with her later. Please, go on.
Yes, with the artificial intelligence is a big deal in medicine right now.
Yeah.
How are you, it's just because there are a lot of potential investors here. Yeah. And just to make sure that when it comes to healthcare, we do not joke with data in the formation of people, right? How are you making sure that this information is going to the proper channel without any litigation?
Okay. So, thank you very much for that question. So artificial intelligence is only as useful as the data that is used to build it. So even if there is an AI model that exists, if we build on top of it, it does not contain our data. That's what our research showed. So if we need to build artificial intelligence models for Nigeria, for Africa, we need to gather that data by ourselves. And gathering this data needs specialized eyes. It needs specialized people who are familiar with the healthcare industry. I am an artificial intelligence engineer, and I have met other artificial intelligence engineers that are building specifically for healthcare. So these are the team of people I'm working with.
Wonderful. Great. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, questions.
All right.
Yeah, two questions. Can we just quickly get these two people? Yes.
It's okay.
Can somebody give him
Just
a mic?
Hello? Can give him, let him know.
Thank you for the kind of work you do.
Thank you very much.
I'm a mechanical engineer in aerospace. Okay, and my question is, when you are collecting your data, do you look at what is available within the African context in the traditional medicine?
Yes.
And if yes, please, can you explain a little bit how you incorporate the African traditional medicine into your artificial intelligence data gathering?
Yes. Thank you very much for that question. That's a very important question. So this data we're gathering, we're starting from the scratch. This is each person, you come to us and you're like, I want my data to be on the system. I want to be able to use precision medicine at some point. So we take a history of what your health-seeking behavior has been. The last time you were sick, what happened to you? What drugs did you take? How did you get better? And then if you use traditional medicine, what did your mom tell you to use when you were sick? What did your grandparents use? This is the type of data that we gather. Even for women, for contraceptive care, we know that everything does not work for everybody. We need to listen to you specifically, see the diet that you take, the environment that you live in, your genetic background, and then we build on top of this. That's what we're doing.
Sorry. Thank you very much. I think that will be the last question for this section. No, I think we're short of time, please. Thank you. A round of applause for her.
Thank you very much.
I think the next picture is Olubori Onosaya, Onas Medic LLC. Please, let's welcome him. You have just 3 minutes.
Good day, everyone. My name is Olubori Onasanya, and I'm the CEO or the founder of Onos Medic. Onos Medic, simply put, if I have the slide up, it's about mental health. We are actually bringing mental health solution to you, and that's what we do. Our goal is to promote a mental health recovery system that integrate people with mental health back into the society so that they can function. If we go on the next slide, why are we at NDIS? Currently, we have an asset of about $500,000. We have been operating in the United States. Onos Medic was licensed in the state of New Jersey, and we currently operate in 2 states, New Jersey and New York. We are in NDIS today seeking a 500 million naira operational investment opportunities to bring mental health to Nigeria. According to World Health Organization, about 40 to 60 million Nigerians suffered from mental health. Out of these 40 to 60 millions, only about 10% has proper access to mental health. What does this simply imply? In every Nigerian, 10 Nigerians, about 4 people has mental health. This is a big problem. And that's why we are here today asking for promotional investment opportunities of 500 million naira to bring mental health solutions to this special population. We have a business models in mind that will address some of the problems in Nigeria when it comes to mental health. First of all, we must create an awareness program which is very essential to delivering mental health. As we know, there's a lot of stigmatization when it comes to mental health. In fact, some do not even believe that this exists. And as we know, with the world situation, even the situation going on in our countries, depression is real. But not just depression. We also have other aspects of substance use disorder, personality disorder, borderline disorder, and numerous mental health issues. We will be creating an awareness program that will be an anti-stigma program so that mental health will be a perfect solution for those who need help. Not only that, we also have other aspects. We have the data use and also pharmacological intervention, which I come into place. Gathering data from our patient, building a patient profile, or simply put, patient history. Then we can deliver the best treatment. We also have the non-pharmacological intervention, maybe storytelling, art, dance, yoga therapy, and other things that could improve or the treatment of mental health.
You have 1 minute more. You may want to do your ask, sir.
Okay, like I said, we are seeking 500 million naira investment opportunities in Nigeria. We have the market. 40 to 60% Nigerians, about 60 million Nigerians suffer from mental health. So we have the market. We have the target populations, starting from our young ones, adolescents, geriatric, older populations suffering from mental health. We have few competitors in this aspect. On top of my head, I could only name about 9 federal neuropsych hospitals in Nigeria, and probably about 11 state-run psych hospitals in Nigeria. So we have the market, and we are asking our investors who are ready to make impact in these special populations of Nigerians suffering from mental health, who are willing to give back 25% return on investment. We are not promising heaven and earth here. Our 25% return on investment will be in 2 years. So for the first year, there is no returns, but the second year will be 25%. Basically meaning we are giving out 12.5% for the first year and 12.5% for the second year, making a total of 25% returns on investment. So I implore our potential investors to travel this journey with me as we make a lasting impact on a special population suffering from mental health in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
I welcome any questions.
Nostaya is asking for 500 million naira investment with 25% return on investment. Mental health is a very important component of healthcare. So, do we have any contribution, any question you want to find out?
Let me come in.
Okay, sorry.
Once again, I think it is important for us all to begin to understand the fact that the law to make health insurance mandatory for all Nigerians was passed sometime in May 2022. And what that means is that we should begin to gravitate from paying out of pocket to being enrolled on the health insurance program. Having said that, I also think it's very important for us to note that what drives patronage, first of all, is when whatever you have as we speak today is enlisted as a service provider on the health insurance platform, because that will automatically drive volume. Whatever you are promising as return on investment of 500 million, which is 25%, can be achieved or seem to be achieved when you have something that will show that your service has been endorsed to be top-notch and to have a platform to be regulated in terms of your services. So for us, and for me, having been part of health insurance scheme since inception till date, and having also sat on the governing council of NHIA, and also having been the spokesperson for the Association of HMOs in this country, I want to implore you and every other pitcher that is looking for investors at this forum to begin to reintegrate and begin to capture the fact that you can't achieve whatever you are promising on return on investment if you're waiting for payment out of pocket. But you can achieve volume patronage should you begin to look at the direction of being enrolled or enlisted as a service provider by the National Health Insurance Authority. I think that's a very good food for thought for you and for every other person that will be coming on this platform. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Do we have any question from the audience? Okay.
Thank you very much. That's a brilliant presentation. Christian Udube from Synergy Healthcare. I love your presentation and even the submission on the issue of more communities to enroll in the healthcare HMO to enable people access health facilities. And you also need to also be part of it. But my question has to look at the huge figure you mentioned about mental health care, especially here, and it's also increasing. And from your projection or budget for investment, what is your plan on the preventive measure? Because there's a saying that prevention is better and cheaper than cure. Vis-a-vis, the number is keep on increasing because of the economic situation of Nigeria that is really affecting so many people. Thank you.
Excellent question. One thing I mentioned is about the awareness program. mental health has two phases. We have the acute phase and we have the chronic phase. When it comes to the acute phase in psych, there is no other measure than pharmacological interventions. That is one. But when it comes to the chronic phase, that's where we can talk about preventive measures so that people with mental health could be integrated back into the society and could function normally. So, in this aspect, I mentioned about 3 business models in my presentation. I talk about the awareness program, the anti-stigma programs that we currently have in Nigeria. People don't usually believe in mental health. Then I talk about the pharmacological intervention and also the non-pharmacological intervention, which involves storytelling, arts, yoga, and other things that we can mention. So our goal is to prevent or break the barrier of people going back to the hospital for acute mental illness. But when it comes to chronic, we'll try to manage that using all preventive measures. And I thank the doctor that also mentioned about health insurance scheme. Our plan is also to involve primary care. So meaning that every mental health patient could have someone they could talk to, even at 2 a.m. in the morning when they are having a psych issues or crisis going on. That will prevent them going to the hospital. Sometimes all they need is a phone call. We have digital platforms that we plan to create to allow us to do this.
Thank you very much. Any other question?
I think there's another
question.
question.
Just one. The last question first.
Mr. Moderator, that will be the last question, sir.
Last question, please.
Thank you very much. My name is Dan Onyetulem, occupational health physician. I want to thank the presenter, but then I'm a little bit worried about the fact that when you look at the health-seeking behavior of most people in the country, it's actually determined by their pocket. That's why some people either go to the church to pray or, go to the nearest chemist, for help. So how do you intend to integrate this fact vis-a-vis the health insurance that has been made compulsory, so to say, though not implemented or not enforced yet? So how do you intend to integrate that into what you're doing? Thank you.
Thank you very much. There is an initiative that we have plans to partner with. It's called the MANI, Mentally Aware Nigerian Initiative. It's a youth-driven forum that tells people about mental health and also to break the barriers or the stigma in mental health. Like you mentioned, people with mental health, the first thing is they think about going to the church, to the traditional rulers. We also have plans to reach out to even community leaders to let them know that mental health is real. All these can be driven through an awareness program. And as a medical practitioner, we know the month of May is Mental Health Month, but we could do that every day of the year. We don't have to wait till that special month. But our plan is to create an awareness program and also an anti-stigma programs to help people channel them to the right place to seek professional help. They don't have to suffer alone in silence.
Thank you very much. Interventionist, you have anything to say?
Okay, so thank you very much for that. So what spoke to me quickly was the fact that you mentioned the awareness program, which is very interesting, because we're in an environment where it's not my portion, seems to be the general rule. So that's what comes to an average patient's mind first. And so we'd like to really be sure that you know what the program is supposed to attend to, but the barriers in terms of denial, self-denial doesn't come in. Okay. Like it was mentioned earlier, for that ROI to be achieved, someone has to be ready to assess the care. For the HMOs, for instance, the health insurance, for instance, to come in and maybe pull the funds together and foot the bills, someone should be ready to assess the care. So I really want to be sure that that program you have in terms of the awareness is able to take care of that self-denial.
Yes, of course. So the programs and also working with the HMO plan, which is first thing is the pocket. If the money is not in the pocket, then people seek help somewhere else. If there is an affordable care, which is the HMO program, then if it's accessible for people, they will seek help. They know they don't have to pay out of pocket. If they're paying a premium monthly or yearly, or maybe their employer is paying that, then they will be able to seek help. Once there's no money in the pocket, seeking help become more difficult. And I think working with HMO organization will be the sure way to go.
We need to round up.
Yes, in reference to what I have said earlier on, I think it will be very necessary and important that you begin to look at the direction of getting whatever you do now to be enlisted or possibly accredited as a service provider on the health insurance program. And it cut across whatever you are looking at as in health insurance. It could be on the social platform, it could be even on the private scheme. But the good news is that you're going to have that recognition, which will drive patronage, and also what the other man said concerning focusing more on preventive health care, which we all know is about 70% of the care that we desire out of the 100%. I think you should begin to look at creating, some form of preventive programs for whoever is going to be interfacing with your facility. But you have fantastic ideas, no doubt about that. The scheme must grow.
Thank you.
The healthcare system must be expanded strategically, but we need to continue to be very truthful and be quite strategic in building it such that we can achieve the desired objectives. I will say that for now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Just a final comment for you. Mental health is a big deal, globally, anywhere, right? The power of, I know you want to do awareness, but do not forget the power of community integration, right? The people you want to serve, it's going to help with the awareness, whereby the community member feel empowered. And with the hope that us medics get the investment or investors here, but on the other side of it, please keep doing more of community sensitization so that it helps to reduce that stigmatization.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's give me a round of applause.
Thank you, everyone. Okay.
So the next picture is...
Mr. Moderator, I apologize to interrupt. We need to take the sponsor's presentation just right here in between. It should have actually come a little earlier. By your permission, Mr. Moderator, I wish to invite the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Ultimate Health Management Services Limited, Nigeria, Otumba Lekon Ewenla, to the podium for his brief presentation in 5 minutes. Otumba, you're welcome, sir. In 5 minutes, sir. Can we put up Otumba's slide? Can we put up the slide, please?
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. We are at this forum as one of the bronze sponsors, and I am the Managing Director of Ultimate Health HMO. Ultimate Health HMO is one of the National Health Insurance or HMOs accredited by the National Health Insurance Authority in this country. We've been in the business of health insurance since 2004, and I have been the Managing Director CEO since 2005 till date. Within the last 19 years that I've been in this sector, I have represented the health maintenance organizations on the Governing Council of National Health Insurance Authority. As we speak today, I'm on the Governing Council of Nigeria Employers Consultative Association, that's NECA, and that is the umbrella association of Nigerians or organized private sector in this country, strategically interfacing with the government to enhance the ease of doing business in this country and also ensure that the organized private sector are given the right platform for them to function optimally. I've also been able to be the spokesperson for the Association of HMOs in this country for 4 years, and that is strategically creating top-of-mind awareness about the benefits of health insurance in this country. I would like to say that I've also been opportune to traverse the globe, looking at health insurance from a very global perspective, and that has actually exposed us to the fact that it is the general concern of all nations to ensure the well-being of all people back home. And whatever you see us discussing about health insurance as we speak today, it has to do with ensuring the well-being of Nigerians. When I talk about exposure globally is because in the course of our going abroad, we interface with a few Nigerians, and we discover that part of the informal flow of funds from the diaspora back home is majorly sent back home to provide healthcare services for their dependents back home. Unfortunately, most of these funds, most of the time, are never utilized optimally to procure healthcare services because of possibly the challenge of poverty. And we've equally been able to interface with Nigerians back home to see how well they are. I remember somebody talked about Nigerians resorting to seeking spiritual intervention when the need arises for them to access care. That was not far from being true, but the fact that there's not always money in everybody's pocket. And the fact that the first law that was passed for health insurance to be introduced in this country was majorly focused on the organized private sector, which is called the formal sector, organized private sector and the public sector. So the health insurance program that was introduced in 2005 was basically to enroll the federal civil servants, their spouses and children on the health insurance program. And thereafter, we began to tinker with how can we expand this health insurance program so the people that are working in the informal sector, knowing fully well that about 80 to 85% of Nigerians are operating in the informal sector. This took us back to the drawing board. This also led to strategic partnership with the government and the regulatory agency. And that also led to the passage of the new law that was passed on the 19th of May, 2022, to make health insurance mandatory for all Nigerians. And the moment that law was passed, we felt there was a need for us to quickly hit the ground running. So, Ultimate Health HMO started talking to our partners in the United States, specifically from New York to Maryland, Boston, and other parts of the United States. And we even, in fact, as a matter of fact, the state of Maryland gave us an approval to come and set up a branch of Ultimate in the United States. But by the time we reviewed and unpacked the conditions attached to setting up a branch of the HMO, we felt that, and looking at our cost-benefit analysis, we discovered that it was not really going to be a good venture for us to go into immediately. So we went back to the drawing board again, we recalibrated the operational process, and we started to set up our office interfacing with the diaspora from Nigeria. Recently, we also went into the UK. I was actually in Leeds in April. I was also in London, interfacing with Nigerian diaspora associations. We already set up this platform, but we also felt there was a need for us to take it beyond that level. And why we are here this afternoon is not to seek for investors, no, but it's basically to just look for Nigerians that live in the diaspora that can partner with us in the area of business development and strategic marketing, such that we can expose our products to Nigerians in the diaspora to buy for their dependents back home. Because we have identified a challenge, the challenge of sending funds to Nigerians to procure healthcare, and the challenge of the fact that they hardly utilize our fund to procure healthcare as it were.
You have now, 1 minute more, sir.
Now, we're coming up with a tailor-made solution. And what is a tailor-made solution? It is us now having diaspora products that could be bought by Nigerians in the diaspora for their dependents back home, as a matter of fact, with flexible means of payment of their premium, such that whenever the need arises, their dependents back home, starting from their needs to their parents, to their even employees, can just take their ID card and walk into their choosing facility and access care, and we can be taken care of, and we can take care of the rest from there. So we already have our partners in the United States, our numbers are there, and we are a national HMO. As we speak today, our business portfolio is over 5 billion, and our share capital fully paid is 1 billion. So, and we're still counting. So we are not seeking for investors. We are just looking for Nigerians that can work with us here, Nigerians that can also partner with us in the diaspora, such that they can interface with the Association of Nigerians in the Diaspora that are also being managed by NIDCOM. Then thereafter, we can begin to talk. We can begin to establish business, mutually rewarding business relationship. I want to pause at that point because I'm very conscious of time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Mr. Moderator, it's back to you, sir.
All right. Well, you've heard him. He's just looking for just partnership. Partnership. I think further consultations can be made during the lunch or after this section. We'll meet with you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
So anyone who may want to meet with Otumba Lekon Ewenla, you can meet him immediately after this session for further discussion. Otumba, we thank you very much. Please do give him an Otumba-licious round of applause.
So the next picture is Salifu Ernest, Aden Technologies Limited. Is he here? Okay. Please come on. Thank you. Come.
Mr. Salifu Ernest, Aden Technologies Limited.
Yeah.
Your time is already counting. You have 3 minutes.
Hello and good afternoon. I am Salifu Ernest, CEO, founder at Aden Technologies Limited. Before I go into the main reason why I'm here, I want to point out something. I believe that it is not just with the mental health issues that people seek attention with the religious and other sector. I think this situation or this menace is something that is found within the medical emergency response. At the time of need, people are fond of looking for help in 3 wrong places. 1, they want to look at Google. 2, they want to call pastor. 3, they want to think of the traditional alternative means. Mama, this person said this. Baba, this person used this method. Well, here is why I am here today. Aden Technologies Limited is a startup company that is strongly focused on software development. For a couple of time now, we've been working on a product called QuickMed, an EMS platform that is designed to revolutionize the medical emergency delivery in Nigeria. And how do we intend doing this? We want to believe that with this product, we should be able to bring closer to the people emergency response by onboarding every possible medical service provider within our location. That is one of the things we're looking at. We also believe that we want to see how people could get access to emergency within the shortest period of time, which we want to cut down from 30 to 45 minutes to about 15 to 20 minutes. How possible is this? It is only possible if every one of us here and everybody on the street, in their home, in their offices, in our various public environment, could register the nearest possible emergency providers. Now, QuickMed does just simple thing. Our mission, let me put it this way. We are here to empower individuals. We're here to empower a service provider. We're here to empower community by putting in their hands a device or a technology, a platform that could streamline access to medical emergency response. 2, we want to see how we enhance RPM, that is remote patient monitoring. We also want to see how it is possible for us to bring telemedics to the people as lower as possible. We are working on that technology. Now, adding QuickMed integrates a lot of technology, but I'm going to mention 3. 1, we have integrated a real-time health data
tracking technology. We have also integrated in Adding Technologies Limited and enabled GPS technology to enable service provider track their or find the patient or the client within the period or within the location that is requested, because we believe that at that point in time that the request is placed, it is possible that it is my last effort I use in placing that call. And I want to put before you this afternoon, pardon me, I want to put before you this afternoon an imaginary statement.
You have 1 minute. You may want to do your ask.
While we're here right now, a pregnant woman is somewhere right now seeking for help. An elder statesman right now, or an elder citizen, senior citizen is somewhere suffering serious cardiac-related issue. Well, I'm not going to do much. At Adding Technologies, we are placing QuickMed to become a leading player within this field. And we strongly believe that with $5 million, we'll be able to put out there infrastructures, integrations, market penetration, and a couple of other things for 15%. And our company is evaluated for $35 million. So thank you so much. I'll take your questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ernest Salifu of Adding Technology Limited. We want to know, does anybody have any question for him? Any question?
Yes, there's one here.
Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you, sir.
I want to find out, first, of course, my inquisition was raised by your need for $5 million for infrastructure.
Yes.
I would like to know what sort of infrastructure would you need, especially that your company is already valued at $35 million, and what constitutes your valuation of $35 million. And if I understand you correctly, I think this is largely looking into the e-medicine space.
Yes, sir.
I think we would like to know in detail, or rather to the best of your ability, what kind of infrastructure requires a seamless implementation of e-medicine, and why is it that yours will now require up to $40 million? Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Infrastructure here takes 30% of the total amount, and the infrastructure we're looking at here, we're looking at penetrating through the 36 states, 35 plus FCT, over the period of time. And of course, we know, you all know that for us to have an effective EMS service, of course, there might be a couple of other devices, infrastructures like buildings, rental, technological acquisitions, and manpower, development that will be able to drive this technology. So these are a couple of the things that we regard as infrastructural need that would take about 30%. And I don't know, sir, if that address your question, sir.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, I would like to come in at this point.
Okay, sir.
Like I did say at the commencement of this session in particular,
yes, sir.
I said, and I want to repeat, that those that will be coming here to seek for investors, especially in this area where we are well grounded, will need to possibly begin to retweak their propositions, because you're asking for $35 million?
No.
How?
$5 million, sir.
$5 million.
Okay,
$5 million.
Dollars.
If we multiply that by whatever the exchange rate is now, I think it runs into billions too, right? Now let me open up this concept. There is no healthcare facility in this country today that does not have an in-house ambulance.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes.
And the purpose of the procurement of the ambulance is to handle or deal with emergency evacuation. either from hospital to hospital, from home to hospital,
Yes, sir.
whichever way one is looking at
Yes,
it.
sir.
Number two, there's a program that is being driven now, before now,
Yes.
by the Nigerian Road Safety.
Yes, and the
Yes,
National
they
Ambulance
introduced an
Initiative.
accident, passenger manifest,
Yes.
as well as 2014 or thereabouts,
Yes, sir.
whereby by the time the bus is leaving the park, there are about 3 forms to be filled by the passengers on board.
Yes, sir.
They drop one at the park, one inside the vehicle, one resides with the road safety. Should there be an accident while the vehicle is on transit,
Yes, sir.
they can use the list or the one in the park or by the road safety to track the next of kin or those that were on board.
Yes, sir.
And I also want to share with us the fact that as we speak today, road safety also are running their own fleet of ambulances.
Yes.
You probably will see them as strategic locations on the highway. Having said that, I also want us to cast our mind to the fact that even if we deploy this software to individuals' telephone, the fact remains that should you need emergency service and you don't have a particular facility that you are affiliated to, where do you go from there? So, yeah, because before you could call someone to come and evacuate you from home, you must be going somewhere.
Sure.
So that I also want to tell you, like I have said earlier on, there's a need for you to be looking at the direction of, first of all, maybe getting your facility or your service accredited by the NHIS. At that level, you are interfacing with all the NHIS accredited healthcare facilities across the 3 levels. You get?
Yes, sir.
And you could now begin to look at how to set up a strategic partnership for your service to be embedded into their operations.
Yes, sir.
Such that if their own ambulance is not at work or is not working, they have something to fall back on. The same thing could be utilized by the HMOs. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So because by the time you look at all of this, you probably will begin to understand the fact that you may not need as much as $5 million
Okay.
as investors. Because if I am going to invest in this business, those are the parameters, those are the issues I'll be looking at. Why do we need this much? If we can leverage of existing facilities in the existing structure. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
In addition to that, I also said something while I was sitting there, that if there's anything we need to take away from this outing as Nigerians, is the fact that we can't just start thinking of acquisition of working tools if we can lease them. I don't agree my point.
Yes.
Because that is, like the prof said something to that young man that came here talking so passionately. We appreciate being passionate about whatever you do, but we also need to begin to understand the fact that it requires a lot of deep process and deep professionalism being employed to do things right. Because you can't go ahead and acquire a tractor to begin to drive what you want to do when you can lease or hire. So having said that, I think it would be good for us to interface after this outing. I can expose you to a few other things so that we can guide you.
All right, sir.
Thank you very
so
much, sir.
sir.
Dimension, do you have anything to add?
It's just, it's an app, so we're thinking technology, right? Are you also partnering with service providers? Because we know that not to put any service provider on the spot here, but that could be an issue. Are you already in partnership with those people? Because that will actually help with the funding you're looking for in terms of partnership.
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Pardon me, I believe coming here this afternoon, I'm not just here to seek for financial involvement, but I'm also here for collaboration and partnership because the business model is developed on B2B, that's business to business. Without the business providers or the service providers out there, we don't have service to offer. And that is the reason why QuickMed is a bridge or a connecting bridge between the users and the service providers. We want to create that connectivity. So partnership is a key functional part of our system. And it's one of the things that we're working really hard toward.
It's all right. Thank you very much.
And
Thank you
please,
very much.
Sir, I really appreciate the advice given by Otumba, sir.
Yeah.
I met you yesterday. I was supposed to call you, pardon me, but my intention is after the event, I want to really have a long sit with you. You see, one of the reasons why the value is placed this high is because we are looking at bringing in the RPM devices, right? We are thinking of, we are working toward, we are the advanced stage of simulation of the devices right now. So we want to bring in this device, which we believe that are mobileable, things that you can carry along, things that can have a direct communication through our backbone infrastructure to your healthcare provider for instant and on-ground assessment of the client's situation, so as to stimulate immediate response. So if you look at all of these, and then building these backbone architectures, they are not just, I'm not saying they are quite expensive, but they are something that must be sustained. And this is the reason why we call for that. But however, sir, I'm going to take 2 corrections and then do a lot of work on that. I promise that QuickMed will, of course, be positioned in such a way that it's going to serve.
Apologize.
Thank you very much.
Because of time, maybe you will meet Otumba later so we can move on.
A round of applause for him. Thank you very much. Our next picture today is Tinu Olarewaju Okebukola of Physiocraft Health and Allied Services. Please come up to the stage and make your presentation.
I'll be pitching virtually.
Okay. So your time starts now.
If they can cue my slides, please.
Can we have Tinu's slide, please? She's speaking virtually. Can we have Tinu on the screen? Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Olarewaju Tinuade Okebukola. I'm a physiotherapist by training and founder of Physiocraft Allied Health Services, which is a one-stop medical rehab center. I'm incredibly excited. I can't see my slides. Thank you. I'm incredibly excited to offer 2 investment opportunities. One is, if you go back, please. One is a 250 million naira investment for 20% equity in expanding our franchise model. And the second is a 350 million naira investment opportunity for 20% equity in developing our Equip, which is an AI-driven retail of medical equipment. Next slide. Now, Physiocraft started as a one-woman business in 2014. This is when I was offering home services to people, primarily physiotherapy services, and registered as a business name. Over the years, we've grown into an LLC, and we're one of the first people to offer one-stop location for all rehab personnel. At its peak, Physiocraft had operated from 6 locations and had 42 personnel. And over time, we've increased in terms of our client registry, our partnership with HMOs and hospitals, and also our assets acquisitions. Next slide. In 2019, our annual income hit about 48 million naira with a net income of 8 million naira, which is about 16%. Now, these numbers were achieved organically without any loan, without any external financing. And it was so interesting, I decided to diversify. But just when I thought that would happen, COVID happened. And I also got an offer to pursue a PhD program at the University of Florida. So I decided to pivot and try a new innovative model in the rehab space in healthcare. And as you see from our numbers, things were initially challenging in the beginning. But then in 2022, things began to turn around, and Physiocraft was awarded the Physiotherapy Practice of the Year by the Nigerian Healthcare Excellence Award. This was after a very rigorous screening process. Next slide. I'm so happy and incredibly excited to say that Physiocraft Abuja, our first franchise model, is now not only independent, but is profitable in this year, 2024. As you see in our numbers this year, we have not recorded any loss, and our gross income is about 33%. And in some months, like in July here, it went as high as 48%. And these numbers are being achieved despite me not being there physically and despite the economic climate of Nigeria. Next slide. So our next phase of growth is to expand this franchise model, which is why I'm asking for the 250 million naira and replicate this in several states. And the second thing is another innovative diversification, which is to develop and pilot test our equip. Our equip essentially is applying AI models and data science combined with neuropsychology to be able to drive retail of medical devices equipment. As I round up, one of the things that's remarkable about Physiocraft is that it embodies the Nigerian spirit. We're driven by passion to, facilitate knowledge exchange. And for the clients, for the staff that believed in me and encouraged me to do this, even when things were challenging, that's one of the reasons we persevere. We're specifically looking for the type of investor who understands that healthcare can return up to 35% return on investment, those who are patient, and those who have access to healthcare gatekeepers. With that, I welcome your questions, and I encourage you to scan the QR code with your phone camera so you can view our website. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oh, okay. Go ahead, sir.
Sorry, what's the name again?
I can't hear anything.
Tinu, okay. Tinu?
Yes.
Okay, if there's anything I honestly admire is seeing young entrepreneurs trying to make a living and develop what they do. But if there's anything I have seen as a trend, is the fact that majority of us, in as much as we have that passion, we seem not to pay adequate attention to maybe the aspect of financial management. I wouldn't want to say that precisely, but I know something was missing. Because I expect that if you've been in this business for a while and your profit after tax, or maybe last year, as you mentioned, was about 8-point-something million, I want to believe that money was not kept in your drawer in the office, it was in the bank. First of all, I think it's important for you to begin to interface with your bankers. They now begin to expose you to the fact that all of these things could be done in phases. All right, because right now I could see you are asking for 600 million. It's quite huge. The truth must be told at this point. Okay, no matter how free or loaded an investor might be, nobody will pull out that fund because Tino is the one asking for that money. Okay, we want to look at our risk exposure, what you've done in the past, how you've succeeded in growing your business over the years, and what was your profit margin over the years too, for you to be even promising certain percentage on return on investment. Having said that, it would be advisable for you to reach out to your banker or your bankers. Let them begin to look at your possibility of growing this in phases. Like Prof said, it's not good for us to eat our elephant once. I think we can do all of these things in phases. We grow it in phases, and over a couple of years, you can now see yourself growing steadily if you're fantastic in not being too much in a hurry to grow faster, and also managing your funds, okay, and your recruitment process, and capacity building in particular, okay? So that's my advice. That's my advice as a managing director CEO that have been in this industry.
Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful advice. Does anybody have any question for Tinu?
So if we have any questions, we'll quickly take them. Anyone, please raise your hand. Any question? There's one hand at the back over there, and that, I guess, will be the only question we can take.
The mic, please.
The microphone, please. Madam Tinu, are you still online? Can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Good. Okay.
Hello.
We're waiting. Can the microphone move to the person? Raise your hand again, please.
End.
Raise your hand at the
your
end over there, towards the entrance. Please stand. Thank you. Camera locate.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
All right. Thank you very much. I would like to ask, do you have a complete team that could help you pull through stages? I would like to connect with what Otumba said, and because I'm going to say this because it seems this is what has been happening to most pitchers I've been listening to. There are stages. I would say this is overall vision you have, and there are series of fundraising. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So I think, do you have a team that can help you push through? This is your vision, yes. But don't you think you need expertise or maybe young personnel like you who can help you raise funds stage to stages? There are series of raising funds. There's what I was saying now is maybe what you need currently is seed funding. Are you with me? To take you from where you are to the next phase. And when you move to the next phase, you now need another type of funding that will take you to another phase. So I think that I want to add, and what thing you should look into, getting a good team that can help you, that can take you from one phase to another. Thank you.
Thank you for that wonderful advice. The intervention.
Okay, I'd like to respond to the two comments.
Okay.
Thank you, Otumba and the gentleman.
Please make it snappy, just 1 minute, please.
Thank you, Otumba and the gentleman. I think it's echoing. Yeah. Thank you, Otumba and the gentleman, for your comments. Yes, well, we've been approached by banks, yes, but like you know, the interest rate by banks is not the friendliest approach. And also, just to clarify, the franchise model, which we're asking for 250 million, if you break it down, we're willing to work with up to 5 investors, putting down 50 million naira individually. And this is an expansion nationwide. So we've already proven, the gentleman is talking about series of growth. The fact that Abuja model is already running is one phase of growth that we've already gotten to. And now we're looking for funding for the next phase, which is why we're looking for investors. So I understand completely what you're talking about in terms of growth strategy. And this is in line with our diversification and our growth strategy that I have written down more than 12 years ago. So thank you, but I'm really looking for investors who understand that this business is consistent. One of the most consistent, profitable growth in healthcare industry is rehab. You cannot go wrong with the rehab sector in healthcare.
Thank you very much.
It's different from HMOs, it's different from medical equipment. So people who know healthcare industry is a viable.
Thank you very much. Without wasting much time, we want to call on the next pitcher.
Okay, and I also want to say very quickly, Ayo is in the audience. He's one of our staff. Okay. For those who want to visit our Abuja branch, Ayo, just say hi so they can pop in and visit us for a physical tour.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ayo Adebamowo of my medical bank.
Yes, I'm here. I virtually. So I'm preaching online. Please, can you hear me and see
online,
me?
Please go ahead.
Okay.
3 minutes, please.
Yes. Can I ask the facilitator to project my PowerPoint? Although because of time, I'll just begin speaking immediately. So I already sent my PowerPoint over. So by way of introduction, my name is Ayo Adebamowo. I'm the founder of my medical bank. It gives me pleasure, to be here this afternoon. I like to say that it is no longer news that Nigeria faces significant challenges in the area of healthcare. Many of our doctors, nurses, and other healthcare professionals have migrated, what we call JAPA. Our public health facilities are overstretched, health records are fragmented, health insurance coverage is low, just at about 5% nationwide. I could go on. So this is where my medical bank comes in. My medical bank comes in to leverage digital technology and artificial intelligence to facilitate access to healthcare in Nigeria. So how exactly are we doing this? As a solution, we have developed my medical bank as a comprehensive digital platform that makes it easy for users to book and pay for healthcare services, interact with their doctors, access their health records, and manage their own health all from the convenience of their mobile phones. So how have we progressed with this? Launched in 2018, we already developed a mobile app that is available to download globally on Play Store and App Store. We also have a web application that to date has about 10,000 users, 2,000 registered healthcare workers, and 100 healthcare organizations across 28 states in Nigeria, including Abuja. Now, the My Medical Bank app, what exactly does it do? Our platform, what does it do? How are we leveraging digital technology and artificial intelligence to address critical shortages and gaps in our healthcare ecosystem? The My Medical Bank first is Nigeria's first personal health record app. It allows users to store their health records, set medication reminders, generate health insights on their health data, such as you enter your blood pressure, your blood sugar level readings, your cholesterol readings, your height, your weight, and then it generates a number of health advisory for you based on your based on your data. What else does it do? The app makes it possible, for users to be notified of any health outbreak. For instance, maybe there's a disease outbreak, through that platform, users can be notified and all of that. But beyond that, My Medical Bank also brings healthcare organizations together in one place, giving them visibility and making it easier for users to find and pay for their services, such as telemedicine, clinic visits, home care, health insurance, ambulance service, and medical logistics. So let's think of it as the Uber of the health sector. So you have healthcare organizations and healthcare consumers coming together on a secure single platform. Now, lastly, I also like to say that My Medical Bank has developed Nigeria's first national health emergency portal. Now, this portal allows healthcare providers and emergency first responders, such as the road safety, the doctors, and all of that, to access the health emergency information of any Nigerian, of Nigerians in any emergency. So, for instance, now, if we have youth corps that are deployed, to go and serve somewhere, it is possible that, if there's an emergency, the relevant authorities who have access to that platform can be able to get information, the critical health information, emergency information about those, about those particular individuals. Or, put another way, it is possible that when a police officer is transferred from one location to another, this platform allows for portability of their health records, so that when they go to another provider in another location, it is possible for them to have their health records with them, and that facilitates continuity of care. So today, as I round up, I'm pitching for two things. Number one, I'd like to create awareness about the services of My Medical Bank, many of which, interestingly, are free to the public. So I'd like to create awareness. In particular, I'd like to say to our diasporans, Nigerians in diaspora who have family members back at home, that you can actually leverage this platform to arrange for healthcare services. For instance, you may be living in London, your parents are living in Enugu. Through our platform, you can arrange for a doctor, a nurse, a carer, or any healthcare, a physiotherapist to be attending to them in the convenience of their home. Or if you need to ensure that they are taken to the hospital, the platform arranges, makes all of that possible for you. The second thing I'm pitching for today is we're seeking for a $2 million we are seeking for a $2 million investment funding for 10% equity based on the valuation of $10 million in our company. Now, this funding is required for us to achieve 6 essentials, and I will itemize that quickly. So, number one, we want to develop an enterprise electronic medical record to be integrated with our existing personal health record. So we've already started the developing. We have the prototype of the EMR. Now, the type of EMR we are building is different from the conventional ones that is common in Nigeria. So what we are trying to do is to build an EMR platform that is integrated with the PHR, such that what we currently have in Nigeria is that if you go to a particular health facility, your health records can only be accessed in that particular location. So what happens if you used to live in Abuja and now you've moved to Lagos or you moved to Enugu? What happens to your health records? How does the new facility, the new health facility or the new health care provider, how do they take over your care? How do they have access to your legacy health record? This is one of the things we are doing, and this platform is designed to make it possible for not just hospitals but all the health facilities that are involved in that health ecosystem, whether they are medical laboratories, whether they are pharmacies, whether they are HMOs, to be able to have access to different sections of the of the portal. Number two, we are integrating artificial intelligence into our existing platform. In fact, for this reason, I have to start. We have a team of developers, but even me personally, as the founder and CEO, I had to start. I had to go for another master degree in artificial intelligence at City University in London, just to kind of bring me into the wave of things in terms of the deployment of artificial intelligence. So we are looking into integrating AI into our existing platform. Definitely as well, we are looking to recruit critical talent, the best of the talent, that can really drive a nationwide deployment of this facility. Requires, good money to attract them and all of that. I'll just mention two more. So we are also looking at developing strategic partnership with healthcare providers. So we recognize that we cannot do this alone. We recognize that we need to interface and interact and build, significant partnership with hospitals, with clinics, with HMOs, with pharmacies, and all of that. If we are going to bring them together, we need to be able to, we need money to be able to drive some of this funding. And then finally, definitely, we need money for publicity. Most people have never heard of My Medical Bank before, so and of course, thank you very much. So I just stop there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Ayo Ademabon of My Medical Bank. At this junction, does anybody have any question, clarification for him?
Any question? We have
any
a hand.
question? Please raise up your hand. Please.
We have a hand somewhere at the middle over there. Please stand up so the microphone will come to you. The microphone is just beside you. Please go straight to your question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is Tunde Balogun. I love what you have said. My concern with healthcare organizations, healthcare records are devoted to annual medical tourism in terms of turnover. Is there a systematic analysis to that? Because when you talk about medical tourism, one aspect, healthcare organizations in comparative, another aspect. Is there a correlative analysis to that for you to come to that annual base over of that turnover?
Okay, no, so let me just clarify. I didn't actually say anything specifically about medical tourism in the course of my pitching. The figures projected there is just to give an indication of the state of healthcare system in Nigeria, in the sense that I was trying to show that currently this is the amount of money that we are spending on medical tourism, and this is indicating of two things. Number one, that there's money available in Nigeria. You understand, of course, we understand that the poverty level is high, but that does not negate the fact that, healthcare can be funded if the right infrastructure and systems are created, to make it possible, for the healthcare service to be delivered. So that's number one. Number two is the fact that I'm also trying to highlight the fact that, within the parameters of what is obtainable and possible within our country, that Nigeria can actually, benefit, reduce the medical tourism. In other words, the amount of money that we are spending. In fact, I know that there is a trend now that some of our private hospitals in Nigeria are actually attracting people from the diaspora to come and, to come and do their surgery, some, medical.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think the next picture for today is Fatima Bello of Second Children's Foundation. Is she here? Fatima Bello? All right, please come up. You have just 3 minutes. And your time starts now.
I'm very short, so okay. Good afternoon, all. I am Fatima Bello, founder of Heskay Children's Foundation, a registered nonprofit here in Nigeria that is focused on children with disabilities. Our mission is to change the narrative of disabilities through a holistic approach. We are currently doing so through awareness campaigns, health fairs, and also giving aid and assistance to those families in need. We are proposing a project to open an accessible and sustainable daycare facility for children with disabilities. I am here to seek your support in the way of donations, grants, and partnership. The Heskay Center will serve as a safe haven where parents for a few hours a day can leave their children in a safe and nurturing space. Financially able parents are welcome to enroll their children by tuition. But what will make the Heskay Center unique from other centers catering to children with disabilities is the scholarship program that will be accessible to parents from low-income households so their children will also have access to quality care. As many of you may know, having a child with disabilities is extremely demanding, time-consuming, and expensive. This facility will benefit parents, children, the community, and the nation as a whole. The Heskay Center will also serve as an educational hub where licensed professionals will give parents accurate insights on their child's diagnosis. Parents will have access to sensitivity training, a unique care plan for each child, an accessible school bus for pickups and drop-offs, and an ambulance always on site for emergencies. Overall, the Heskay Center will equip parents with the necessary tools to support their child from a young age because early intervention is key. The Heskay Center will also permit stay-at-home parents the opportunity to get a job to lessen the financial strain they face. Now, I know you're thinking this is an investment summit and I haven't proposed an idea that will make you profit, but I want you to think of profit in the way of adding value. You are adding value to the mother who was abandoned by her husband because he could not deal with the stigma that is associated with having a child with disabilities. You are adding value to the little girl whose family only believes in traditional medicine and practices, and so as a result, she had her hand amputated just from a simple fall. You are adding value to a little boy who is consistently being locked away in a room, chained to a bed because his family simply do not know how to handle him when he's having seizures. Join us to bring the Heskay Center to reality, to add the value of comfort and community for children with disabilities and their families. We simply cannot do this without your help. Join us in changing the narrative of disability so that all children, regardless of their ability and socioeconomic status, can thrive. Time is very limited for me to go further into detail about the work Heskay Children's Foundation has done. I invite you all to visit our website at heskaycf.org, or if you have time today, a one-on-one with me.
Thank you.
But for now, thank you for listening, and I welcome any questions that you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Fatima Bello of Heskay Children's Foundation, center with taking care of children with disabilities. She's asking for donation, kind donations, partnership. Let's show her love in whatever we can do. Thank you very much. I want to say something?
Patti, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Fatima.
Okay, how are you today?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
I think we've met before. Have my contact? Do you?
No.
Okay, I'll give it to you after this outing. You can touch base with us, and let's look at what sort of support that we can provide for you, looking at what you do for disabled children.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hello? Yeah, somebody in the audience? Yes.
Hello, okay. Hi. I'm just curious to know what Heskay means and what inspired it as well.
Okay, so what inspired is at a very young age, I had a niece that was born with Down syndrome, and then she was taken to the States for heart surgery, and from that surgery, she contacted meningitis, which caused her, she lost her sight, her hearing, ability to walk, breathe on her own. She was on oxygen, she had a feeding tube. So I was 10 years old when this happened, and so from a young age, I learned how to take care of her. But I will always see what my sister went through with her family back here in Nigeria and the stigma that was associated associated with having children with disabilities. And I was like, oh, alhamdulillah, we were fortunate enough to be able to support my niece. What about the children that are not financially able to have that care? And so that's the inspiration behind the foundation. And the word Heske is a Hausa word from northern Nigeria that means light. The idea is we're trying to bring light and awareness to disabilities in a positive sense, full of smiles and positivity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You want to say something?
Fatima, your aspect is very sensitive. I mean, disability, and we've seen the growth of it globally and both in Nigeria. To every potential investors here, healthcare system is very unique, and you can see. But just to let you know that keep doing the community outreaches to be able to increase that visibility. I also have an NGO, and I know what the impact of community outreaches means, because through that, support actually came in. So keep doing that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other person? Quickly.
Yeah, thank
That
you.
will be the last person. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Shehu will still donate 1 million naira to Fatima's foundation.
Wow. Thank you. It's all right.
Hello.
Thank you. Okay.
I want to just quickly add something. First, I love the fact that you're doing this, smiling about it. So that's really spoke to me too. But you mentioned you're not making an ask for investment where there's financial returns. So this is mainly to the potential investors, that if they could partner with HMOs, it's possible that the 1 naira could yield 10 naira for each child. Because what HMO does is whatever amount that is being put aside, they give you maybe times 10 or so of what is being put in. So if the investors, potential investors partner with HMOs to give these children the light that you talk about, so for each naira, each dollar that comes in is actually going to multiply. And that way the effects, the benefits also grows. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. I want to call on the last picture for today. This section, and it's no other person than Doyin Adesida of Zepama Tech Limited.
Doyin Adeshida, are you here? Doyin, are you here?
Yes, I'm teaching virtually.
You're online.
Virtually, please.
Okay, Mr. Doyin, you have 3 minutes. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Doyin Adeshida, and I am the founder of Zipama Technology Limited, a startup out of the Federal University of Technology's Tech Hub in Akure. So now I want you guys to imagine this, right? Imagine earning 7 different types of rewards simply by doing the activity that you do on a daily basis, which is walking. Imagine earning 7 different types of rewards just simply by walking. Now that is the solution that Zipama is bringing to the market. The vision was inspired by God, reminding us of the story of the wall of Jericho and how it was conquered, using the power of our steps, the power of our voices, and the power of our collective action. The name Zipama, represents the connection between 3 generations: Generation Z, Papas, that's the old.
What's happening? IT.
So this looks like a network issue. Is it? From our end or from his end? IT, please confirm. Is it from our end or his end? Okay, so it's from his end in Akure. So, Mr. Moderator, you may want to decide that we continue. We can recommend that he records his presentation and we'll find a way to put it in.
That's fine. That's fine. So I think I would like to call on Aisha Sheleh of Abdullahi of NMPC Medical Services Limited to give us just 2 minutes presentation. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aisha Chali Abdullahi from NMPC Medical Services, and I'm here to speak on reversing medical tourism and improving the lives of many Nigerians. Okay, so
speak up, please.
Okay, can you hear me now? Okay, good. Thank you. We have 7 medical facilities across the various regions in Nigeria with a flagship center at NMPC Multispecialty Hospital located in Utako, Abuja. NMSH is a state-of-the-art equipped medical technology with a skilled medical team from cardiologists, urologists, gastrologists, orthopedic, and much more. We are ISO 9015 certified facility with a 24 hours A&E unit, functioning ICU, 1.5 Tesla MRI, 160 slide CT with a glass modular theater which is fully IT integrated with the capacity of telesurgery and telepresence. We have done several diagnostic and therapeutic endoscopy procedure, knee replacement, hip replacement, and so much more. We also carry out cardiac intervention such as coronary angioplasty.
Apologies, Madam Aisha. You may want to just raise the microphone a little.
Okay.
People are having a difficult hearing you.
Can you hear me now, please?
Yeah, this is Aisha Abdullahi
Yes,
from the NMPC Medical Services. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. So as I was saying earlier, we have cardiac interventions such as coronary angioplasty, coronary angiogram, and pacemaker emplacement. Our laboratory is also accredited from an external quality assessment BioRide. And apart from your routine investigation, we also conduct genetic markers assessment, tumor markers, and autoimmune screening, and so much more. NMSH offers advanced and affordable medical services that meet global standards. Our services covers a wide range of specialists that is accessible to all Nigerians, such that they do not need to travel overseas for such treatment. And you can not just specialized treatment, also for general services as well. Our facility is a healthcare facility where we serve empathy in every touch and excellence in every step. So with NMSH, you do not need to wait for appointment to see a cardiologist or orthopedic or our specialized surgeon. You can come in. We have an advanced EMR where we register patients or clients that come in, and you can also go through our NMPC HMO, or you can walk in as a fee-paying patient, or you can come in as a company as well. Thank you so much. And if you have any more questions, you can reach us at the stand outside. We'll be there. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Aisha. I think
yes,
we've come to the end of
Mr. Moderator, next to speak is Mrs. Doyobom Etim. She is the head strategy and commercial of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation Limited Health Management Organization.
Okay, so good afternoon again, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm just going to follow from what Aisha said earlier. NMPC, in trying to diversify, looked at other areas where it can actually create value. Now, for health insurance, we know it's highly untapped. I'm sure Tumba will actually agree with me. It's a highly untapped sector as far as health insurance, health is concerned. So what NMPC Health Maintenance Organization tries to do is to see how to connect the needs with the services. Now, it's beautiful being here today with potential investors. The good thing is the ask here is not for investments, but partnership and collaboration. We do know for health insurance, for health generally, what is needed is partnership and collaboration. We employ the efforts of the Nigerians in diaspora that have come to do different health programs, to care about Doctors Beyond Borders and the likes that come here, perform surgeries, take care of patients, and of course have to go back to their base. And when they leave, there is that lacuna, that gap there. Now, what health insurance tries to do, NMPC HMO tries to do, is also see how we can close those gaps, where those people that you so much love and come to take care of continue the care after you've gone. Now, part of the partnership we're looking at is to see how Nigerians, well-meaning Nigerians, diaspora and those within, could see how we could partner, bring the funds, so the likes of Husky Foundation, for instance, could have a chance where those children can be able to smile and live a life that shines the light that they've come to shine. So we're hoping to find different kind of collaboration and partnership where your loved one, for instance, in the villages, in remote areas, can be taken care of and your mind will be addressed where you are. So that way, because we have that high network reach of providers cutting across different parts of the country, we're certain that wherever you have the need, that location, that remote location that you're trying to meet the need, we're sure to meet that need there because we have providers, we have partnership with different providers in those locations. So we're asking here for you to open your mind to the need for that partnership, that collaboration, that sponsorship that health needs in Nigeria. And like you said earlier, to actually help reverse the health tourism, where people are traveling out, the cost of the visa, the ticket, sometimes actually compete with the cost of the medical care that you're going for itself. So a way that can be reversed is to actually help keep the funds inside, and the funds are actually used for the health needs that needs to be met. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. May I also request, sir, by your permission, that the interventionist gives a concluding remark for our feedback before you conclude. The interventionist is Mrs. Adiola Dorcas Folorunsho, founder, Merta Mental.
Yeah, thank you very much. Health is wealth.
You may wish to approach the podium, madam.
Thank you very much. Health is wealth. And according to WHO, health is not just the absence of disease or infirmity, but because health has different aspects to it. And in this aspect of the health, for the pictures, I just want you guys to look beyond the investors. There is more to healthcare. There are more things to be done. And in healthcare, the uniqueness around it is more of partnership, collaboration, and openness. So be prepared. Be mentally prepared, change the paradigm. So while we are waiting for the bigger fish, meaning the investors, let's keep going. Let's keep doing something just because health cannot afford to wait. Thank you so much.
Health cannot afford to wait. It's over to the moderator to conclude the session now.
Thank you very much, our investors, audience, and every other person that participated in this session. We want to thank the MC for making it a seamless event. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll now take a group photograph. We call on Mrs. Badewa Adejugbe Williams, Dr. Ms. Badewa Adejugbe Williams, to join for photograph. Members of the committee who are available should also please join quickly for photograph. Very quickly.
I just go back online.
Okay. There's Ms. Badewa Adejugbe Williams on her way, joining now for photograph. So while we take the group photograph, we move on swiftly, shall we, to the next session. Mining and energy. Don't worry, we'll have lunch, but I'm told it will be a late lunch. It will be good to celebrate America at the late lunch. You can celebrate Democrats, you can celebrate Republicans, depending on how you feel. Celebration is celebration. Mining and energy comes next. I'd like to invite the moderator, Dr. Omonigo Otanoja, Federal University of Petroleum Resource, FRO, and Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer, Energy Solutions, Fupre Energy Solutions Nigeria Limited. Dr. Omonigo takes the stage. You're welcome. Please give him a round of applause. We'll have for sectoral preposition from the Nigeria National Petroleum Limited PLC, Mr. Aranja Yakubu. He'll be speaking on opportunity in the gas sector. Mr. Haranja Yakubu, are you in the hall? Are you in the hall, sir? Okay, he is. So please approach the podium. While he makes his way straight to the microphone to speak very briefly on opportunities in the gas sector, I invite interventionists to join the moderator. Dr. Peter Ntefe is President and Chief Executive Officer, ERHC Energy Incorporated, Houston, Texas. Dr. Peter Ntefe, are you here, sir? Okay. So, but the pictures are Dr. Chidozie Ikebude. Are you here, Dr. Chidozie? And Dr. Fidelis Iyama. Are you here? All right, so we quickly take the sectoral proposition. This is done by Mr. Haranji Yakubu, speaking on opportunities in the gas sector. You have 5 minutes, sir. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon, diasporas, and good afternoon, other Nigerians. So I'm here to discuss about the opportunities in the gas sector in Nigeria, especially with the emphasis on the domestic market. So today, we are all aware that Nigeria is more of a gas nation than an oil nation, because we have a lot of gas within the country, to the extent that we are among the biggest exporters of LNG within the globe. So, but if you look at our story as Nigeria again, we are the highest in terms of a country that live with a population in numbers with the least access to electricity and energy. So today, Nigeria has the highest number of people without access to electricity. Meanwhile, we are sitting on a vast resources of gas. That is our story, unfortunately. So today, if you look at what is happening within the globe, we know the story of Russia and the Ukraine crisis, how it led to a utility crisis within the Europe. That's just to emphasize the importance of gas in the global energy mix. So if you come back to Nigeria today, we've seen a lot of effort. We've seen intentional policies from present government and previous governments in terms of giving access to gas, in terms of bringing investment to gas, in terms of giving access and opportunities to Nigerians within the gas sector. So today, I'm here to speak on specifically of CNG because of time constraint. So I am working currently in Nigerian NNPC Gas Marketing Limited, and I'm in charge of the new business opportunities, specifically CNG. Just to put this in context, today, if you want to convert your vehicle to CNG, because PMS prices or gasoline prices are very expensive, it takes you minimum of 2 months to get your vehicle converted. This is an opportunity for diaspora. It means we are looking for people to invest in conversion for CNG. Secondly, today, if you have a vehicle that runs on CNG, what it will save you in terms of Naira, you're going to save minimum of 70% of your cost. Because currently, if you go to NNPC station and NIPCO within Abuja, a standard cubic meter of CNG sells at 230 Naira. One-on-one, that is like a liter of fuel. I just want you to imagine the context. But we cannot benefit from that because of lack of investment. Today, you have barely less than filling station that sell CNG because of the lack of investment. So this is a huge opportunity for us in diaspora to help our people. First of all, let's look at the side as Nigerians. Today, people are struggling with PMS energy crisis. People are struggling with expensive crisis in terms of money in buying fuel, in getting electricity, but we have gas. I can also give you another statistic. Today, gas supply is not a challenge. So if you want to invest in CNG, forget about gas supply. The only thing you can battle with probably is the infrastructure. If you are located in Lagos and other places where there are pipelines, you don't have issue with infrastructure and supply, gas supply. The demand is there. Like I said, if you want to convert your vehicle, it takes 2 months. So we are here as NNPC, specifically NNPC Gas Marketing Limited. We have our stand outside. If you want to discuss CNG, please, we are here. We are ready for partnership. We are here for, if you want just the gas supply, you have your investment, we are ready to fly. So we are open for collaborations on this aspect. Again, just to put emphasis again, we have the presidential CNG initiative that have come up with a lot of incentives for investment. Today, if you are importing any LNG or CNG equipment, you are not going to pay anything in terms of taxes. You are not going to pay anything in terms of duty. Today, again, if you are buying gas specifically for mobility, I'm talking about mobility because CNG, you can use it for industries or you can use it for transportation. If you are buying gas for transportation, it's also subsidized. Subsidized in the sense that the price is regulated to the extent that you buy gas cheaper than the gas you are going to use for power generation. Just to give you in context, today, if you are buying gas for CNG, mobility CNG, you are going to pay $1.57 from the upstream suppliers. And this is one of the incentives from the presidential CNG initiative. So we have a lot of incentive for the investment. So that's why we are here today. There are opportunities for everybody to collaborate with us in terms of CNG. For the other aspect of the gas, upstream, downstream, we're also open. But specifically CNG, this is where we need intervention. Thank you very much. So we are here for comments and
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. The NNPC, as you all know, is a sponsor for this program, and they are here for collaboration and also to expand our energy mix in Nigeria. Are there questions, comments, clarifications? We'll take a few hands. Yes, one, two, please. The mic, please.
The microphone.
Yes.
Number one.
He specifically mentioned CNG, but if it is gas, we also know there are products like methanol, gas to power projects, and also, where possible, maybe those who are interested in climate action, scrubbing of effluents, gas flaring. Okay, questions, please.
Yes, I'm not an investor, but I want to ask a question. You know, if you convert your car now to CNG, for me, I'm from Adamawa State. If I want to travel from here to Adamawa State, how far will that gas take me? And if I've exhausted what I have, where can I refuel? Then secondly, is it convertible? Say my car can use both. You know, if I want, I can move from petrol to gas. Or when you convert it, it's only gas. Is it convertible?
Okay,
so
next.
that my car can use the two.
Yeah, next. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good question. Can I respond?
Please go ahead.
Or do you want to respond?
Briefly, yes.
So thank you, sir.
30 seconds.
Just like you said, so if you are converting, you can still run on two fuels. It's just a switch. You run on CNG. If you can switch to your PMS, so you can conveniently run between the two fuels, unless you have a purely CNG vehicle. But if you convert your vehicle today, you run on the two fuels, sir. Secondly, for Adamawa, just to give you another context, we have Greenville. I don't know if you know about Greenville LNG. They are planning to have what they call LCNG, converting LNG to LCNG to CNG, even in Adamawa. So very soon you are going to have that even in Adamawa, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Just to clarify, CNG, PMS, they are all fuels. So in Nigeria, when we say fuel, we are usually talking about PMS, just to get that clear. And then just to also add to what he has said, he also mentioned that there are opportunity for investment. So if you're in Adamawa, you know that it's a challenge. Don't you think it would be nice you look at the gap there and possibly look at infrastructural development? Thank you. Absolutely. Next. Yes.
Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. My name is Dr. Muhammad Shehu. I'm the CEO of Amplus BGJV. Within Nigeria, currently we're investing in oil and gas. And gas in particular, we've seen a lot of issues. You made mention of 360 trillion, I think, from your presentation. Is it a proven reserve or a projection? Because as an investor, I can only invest in a proven reserve, one. And two, coming back to the issue of CNG and Greenville, we've seen a power project in Maiduguri recently by NNPC, and CNG supply by Greenville. And today, sometimes you go to Maiduguri and experience power outage for 2-3 months. And now we are talking of CNG project in a larger scale. What are the NNPC, what are your plans as an organization to have a larger plan CNG kind of without any issues? You've seen a lot of queues today due to scarcity in PMS. how do you intend to control a lot of this scarcity? And do you have any feedstock currently in place? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So I think what you saw, the 350 million scope per day, is what NGML currently supply to the domestic market. It's our current supply. On daily basis, we supply about 350 million scope to industries and other commercial sectors. That's what you saw there. I think our proven reserve is about 160 trillion TCF, something around that, the proven reserve for the gas. Secondly, on the issue of, I'm not an expert, but on the Meduguri MEF project you're talking about, the struggle you see from the Greenville is an opportunity. Greenville is struggling to meet demand in mini LNG in the local market. That's to tell you the extent of the demand. So today, Greenville is struggling because they can't meet up the demand. They supply Meduguri, they supply Sokoto, they supply Lagos. So that is the opportunity we are talking about, sir. In terms of, I've forgotten your question, in terms of guaranteeing supply, what I can guarantee you, I play in the gas sector within the domestic market, we have gas. The only thing, the gap there again is in infrastructure. Today, if you are located in Kano, up north, and maybe some market in the eastern side, it's because of lack of infrastructure. That's another opportunity again. The government here, as private sector, you can also invest in the backbone infrastructure. Other companies are looking at it. AKK is coming on board, hopefully by next year. That will address some of the issues you are talking about, sir. So infrastructures and supply, once they are there, I don't see any challenge around there. So,
if we get it right, what NNPC is saying that there are opportunities for infrastructural development. Dr. Ahmed, am I right? Ahmed, yes. So there are possibilities there, and people are already owning gas transport pipelines. Am I right? So these are opportunities. Rather than talk about the challenges, can we? That's what this summit is all about. Can we look at how to close the gap and bring in investment for infrastructural support? A lot of gas is being used, and I stand to be corrected. The gas reserve that we talk about today, they are all accidental. There have not been deliberate effort to go after gas exploration. The Enugu Oasis is there from coal, there's also gas from there. So these are opportunities. Can we start rethinking and seeing how we can invest in this infrastructure? Seplat is doing something with already in oil, and I think they're making a good profit from that. So that's the point NNPC is saying. They have gas. You need to get it around the country to salvage our energy poverty in Nigeria and have a proper energy mix, decarbonize the transport sector. So these are opportunities that are there. Sorry.
Thank you. Please, as we talk about the CNG, the positive aspect, it's also good we are telling the public about the negative aspect, just to manage the risk. Because all along we just talk about CNG, how less cost effective, but we are not talking about the risk and how to manage it.
Kindly use the microphone, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sorry, if you need to be specific. Every business has risks, and the risking is part of your business proposition. So would you want to be specific about what you want to know?
Yeah. The CNG, like converting cars to CNG, what I want to know, what about the risk? What are the risks, like in terms of accident, looking at our society, we are still not there. So we also need to let the public know that if you are using a CNG car,
okay, maybe I have to step in here. Please, I'm a technical person on this.
Yeah.
And if you are technical about this, CNG is purely compressed natural gas. Absolutely. What you are looking at is working with high pressures. Am I right?
Yeah.
And so that's just the problem. And there's no area where you don't have problems. I also mentioned methanol. But the beautiful thing about it is that because the government is deliberately pushing natural gas through CNG as a product to enhance our energy mix in Nigeria and also to keep along with global best practices. CNG is not new technology. People are already gone ahead and are looking at hydrogen. Okay, so the point is every business has their risk factors and they de-risk it by doing a proper business plan. So if you are interested in this field, with all due respect, I work at the Federal University of Petroleum Resources. I'm a mechanical engineer. I studied at Manchester Advanced Manufacturing. The point I'm saying is that there are technologies that are dealing with this India, as we speak today, are doing very well on CNG. There are also the manufacturing sector where you have to do vehicles, vessels that can handle these high pressures. Okay, so those are technical details that somebody going to the business can be helped. If you are interested, talk to NMPC. There are experts here who would be interested in working with you.
Not be the public.
Yeah.
There should be sensitization. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Sorry. I have to cut you here, please. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
Can I just...
please go ahead. Go ahead. Yes, chip in.
Thank you, sir. So I don't know, sir, if you can hear me. CNG, like what Doctor has said or Prof has said, is like any other fuel, sir. As far as CNG is concerned, I think I'm sure in your house, sir, in your kitchen, I'm sure you use LPG for cooking. And I'm sure you're using LPG, sir. So I'm sure last 20 years, I played in the LPG sector. Last 20, 15 years, if I advise any of my friends to switch to LPG, the first thing I hear is, I don't want to die. Sir, today, in my village, people use LPG. Today. So there are the risk aspect, but as long as you address the issue of you are using the right equipment, you are getting it from the right people, you are also using, you have all the standards, I don't think there's anything to fear about CNG.
You have 1 minute more, sir.
They are located in locations where CNG is not a new technology to Nigeria. Like what the moderator has said, India, if you go to Bangladesh, they use a lot of CNG. Yeah. And they also have the same kind of people we have here, sir. So I don't think there's anything to worry about as long as we are sticking to regulations, standards, and everything in CNG. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And just to help you, Koren, as we speak today, because I'm involved, they are already working out on the safety regulations as a regulator in engineering to work on that. So there are no fears. As far back as 2008, I rode on a vehicle from Accra to Akosombo on LPG, and as at that time, taxi, 2008. Okay, next please.
Mr. Moderator, I'm told to inform you that we need to move to the pitches, sir.
Okay.
The time for
so
the
one last contribution, please, from
Barrister Kachi.
Okay, so that would be the last.
Very quick comment on the issue of risk. I know you've put it to bed somewhat. I think this is wider than the industry. Everything to do with risk. The biggest challenge we have is that we do not, as of yet, have a fit-for-purpose insurance industry. If we did, it wouldn't matter so much.
Thank you.
Can we also take questions online? There's been a little comment that we're not taking questions from online, please.
Okay. MC, please. Any questions online?
So the only one I see is, please, moderator, I need the CNG guy's contact info.
Sorry?
The question I see online says they want the CNG guy's contact info. Another one says, where can we get... Okay, I think that's been sorted.
Okay, so MC, we can project the...
I think we have it. We have it on our slides. Okay. If you go to the last page.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so tech people, please project the last slide for the phone numbers to contact the NNPC CNG people.
Thank you. I think you should give them a round of applause. They are here to show opportunities. Thank you very much, NNPC. Thank you so much.
All right, by your permission, Mr. Moderator, I want to invite Dr. Chidozie Ikebude. Dr. Chidozie Ikebude. The NNPC sponsor, please sit on the podium. Please remain on the podium.
Yes. Our sponsor, Dr. Chidozie Ikebude, Geomarine Systems Limited. You have the floor. 2 minutes to pitch and then a minute or thereabout for questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Chidozie Ikebude. I'm a geotechnical engineer and I'm representing Geomarine System. I'm here coordinating the new technology we intend to employ to the Nigerian oil and gas space. And this technology is the use of automated, robotic, artificial intelligence-enabled geotechnical drilling equipment. This equipment is equipped with underwater vessels and remotely operated vehicles that can help us to do geotechnical drilling more efficiently, reduces costs compared to the traditional or the conventional one we use. The conventional one is drill ship, which we normally use to collect our data, the seabed data. This equipment is very important because it enables us get all the data we need, and the data are very reliable. Robotic enabled equipment give us very reliable data. When we have reliable data, of course, our designs of offshore platforms will be very, very, very excellent and be accurate. We don't want the issue of offshore platform collapse. One happened recently, and we lost some life. With this accurate acquisition of geotechnical data, the issue of collapse or poor design or poor construction is completely out of it. Geomarine is a company that does geophysical survey, geotechnical engineering, soil mapping, and so many other. I am here to seek an investment of $10 million as an equity with 20% exchange in equity in our company that is valued for $30 million. The company is presently valued at $30 million, and we are looking for investment, $10 million investment, to be able to procure this equipment. And the procurement will include things like insurance, maintenance, training of technical crew for the operation, and so on and so forth. We have capacity. We have done jobs we have delivered quality jobs for Chevron, for NNPC, NAPIMS, and other very strong key players in the industry. So I can confidently say we have the capacity. We're just looking for investors that will invest into this company, and you get 20% of equity in return from the company. You may wish to visit our website, www.geomarinesystem.net, for all the information you need. I'm very much around to take your question, very available. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless.
Good. A round of applause, please. So you are here seeking $10 million.
Yes.
For a company that is rated at $30 million.
Yes.
To expand your operations.
Yes, to expand our operations.
Do we have comments? Needs for clarification? Questions?
So we have a hand here.
Yes, please. Okay.
Please rise, sir.
Dr. Ahmad. Am I right?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Nice presentation. I'm a naval architect, actually. I'm a bit curious with your presentation. You know, within the oil and gas, within the oil and gas, we have AUVs and ROVs.
AUVs and ROVs, yes.
Of which both are taking soil samples.
Yes.
But there is a bit of limitation on how deeper you will go by taking samples.
Okay, this equipment can go up to 3,000 meters from top surface, 3,000 meters down, which means if you have seabed from anywhere about 500 meters, it can go extra 2,500 meters down. So the ROVs are actually equipped with sensors that take the sampling. It does in situ measurement. It does sampling. It does recovery. So it has many features that, of course, is far better than the drill ship we normally use. And then the operations are a lot cheaper. It will reduce cost of operation between 35 to 50% cost of operation. It is safer because it is remotely controlled, and then the number of people on board will be smaller, number of persons on board will be smaller, and then the accident rate is reduced. Even if there will be accident, the fatality will be severely low. So we're looking at a very laudable technology. A very laudable technology. We're looking at it. Remember that all our reserve, most of our reserves are in the deep offshores.
Okay.
They are in the deep offshore, so we have to find a way to get our gas reserve and oil reserve deep offshore.
Thank you. Ahmed is also into deep offshore businesses. Am I right?
Yeah. Sorry, please. I think there is a bit of confusion in your presentation. There is a bit of difference within drill ships and soil sample vessels.
No, I'm talking about the equipment I'm talking about is different from drill ships.
Do you know the likes of Frugo and others?
I know the like of Frugo.
Yeah, so we have a bit of difference between a drill ship that you will drill oil and gas.
Yes.
Then we have the drill bore that takes the soil sample.
Yes.
So can you differentiate between your kind of technology with AUVs and ROVs?
Well, ours is robotic, artificial intelligence enabled. I don't know if those ones they are not artificial or AI enabled, or they are not robotics. This one I'm bringing to the fore. I'm bringing to the Nigerian oil and gas sector, the space is certainly going to be a game changer because it is viable. The operations are cheaper because we need to look at the advantages of deploying this one I'm talking about vis-a-vis the other one that has been available. Okay. Especially now that drill ships are almost obsolete and they're not in the country anymore.
Yeah, Dr. Kebude, this information you're giving out here now is on your website?
Yes, everything about this information is...
Dr. Ahmad, is that okay if you have a conversation after this session and also check the website?
www.geomarinesystem.net.
Yeah. Thank you. Any further questions, comments?
The last one on that side, Mr. Moderator. Please stand. The man on the red cap.
Yeah.
The microphone is behind you.
Good evening, sir.
Yes,
my name is Sheyi Alabi, a registered geologist with COMEC, and we have two groups from overseas, one from Austria and the other one from Australia. The group from Austria, they have what we call NMR, which is nuclear magnetic resonance technology, to determine the hydrocarbon potentials and solid minerals. They can even go up to 5,000 meters and even 16,000 feet, an area of 12,000 square meters. Now, we are trying to market or deploy the technology down to Nigeria and the whole of Africa. And the second group is georesonance from Australia, who also does hydrocarbon potentials and solid mineral. As a matter of fact, NMPC has already approved the NMR technology called nuclear magnetic resonance, which we have been awarded contract on the pilot holes for some hydrocarbon potential. So I'm just trying to take a note on this to acquaint us that we have far more technology generally acceptable all over the world. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Well,
can you just take the comment in? It's just a comment.
No, I know. Yeah. I've taken this. It's an information is given to me.
Yeah.
It's just giving me an information about other technologies, but I stand with these automated, robotic, artificial intelligence enabled seabed investigation because I trust the reliability of the data. Reliability of data. Reliability is that the data must be reliable for effective engineering design of offshore structures.
Okay. Thank you. Do you just a final one? This is from me. Are you in partnership with any of these tech companies in Nigeria or abroad for local content development of this equipment?
Well, yes. We had signed MOU with the original equipment manufacturers to bring the first set of Nigerian indigenous companies deploying this thing to the country.
Okay, the reason I'm saying this is that I think a lot of the interventionists have mentioned that before, that there's need to eat an elephant piece by piece.
Yes.
If you're looking for $10 million and that is not achievable in lump sum, there are possibilities for you to partner with research institutions and also developers to cut the cost, or the huge cost, and then they can now go into development of equipment that will enable your operations. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause for him. Can we have on board now Dr.
Fidelis Iyama is online. Dr. Fidelis, can you hear us? Can you come up? He's online.
Yes, thank you. So,
can you hear me?
ICT, please.
Dr. Fidelis is online, and I think he's already... Yeah, ICT, can you... Yeah, there he is. So go ahead, sir. You have 3 minutes, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity. I am Dr. Iyama Fidelis, founder, CEO, Cedar Ventures. Cedar Ventures is a registered business name in Nigeria, enlisted for engineering, industrial, consultancy, management, and merchandise. We are looking for an equity investor for 100 million naira to do oil and gas business. I would like to go straight to slide number 3 because of want of time, so that the integrity of this job will be captured.
The slide, please.
They can bring slide number 3 up. Okay. The business is to market oil and gas within Nigerian space. We have done a cost analysis.
Sorry, can we have the slide up? Slide for.
We are targeting a truck of 60,000 liters per week. Okay? 60,000 liters per week for 1,250 naira on sales. That will give us 75 million naira. Then on the purchase side, 60,000 liters at 1,050 naira will give us 63 million. Then the gross profit loss will be a subtraction of the purchase from the sales. That is 75 million less 63 million. We'll have 12 million naira gross. Since it's a positive gross, it's a profit. Then we'll bring in the expenditures, the cost of lube and fuel, the transport, truck hire, the PR to GPR, messages and data, amongst other cost handling charges. The handling charges will total 1,170,000. If you take this value away from the gross profit, we have 10,830,000 naira for a truck, and our make it in a week, and that's the extent. And we're making a project. So if we bring this, the 10,830,000 into times by 4, which is a month, times by 12, which is 12 months in a year, it will bring us to 1,559,520 naira. This value, we believe, if we are able to find an equity investor or group of investors who will put their money into it, will give a good return on investment. Within the 3 years projection activity, we need to diversify into compressed natural gas, which is the energy of the future.
Dr. Yama, you have 10 seconds to just be specific. Yes.
And the kits. We have.
Continue, please. Just round up. 10 seconds, please.
Our target audience. Our target audience will purchase these things from Port Harcourt, from Calabar, and from Warri, and will market it through the petrol marketing outlets scattered in the country. The business objective is to make a brand name and create a leadership in the oil and gas marketing.
Okay.
We'll have developed a comprehensive marketing strategy whereby we'll use technology, we'll use ICT, we'll use networking, then we'll track.
Okay, we need to take comments now and questions. Dr. Fidelis, please leave the slide on the last slide where his contact is. Are there comments? He wants Dr. Fidelis Iyama of Sildaf Ventures is interested in expanding his operations in oil and gas operations, and he needs 100 million naira to expand that. He has given the figures, and his contact is there. Are there comments for him? He's online and he's listening. Can I entertain 2 questions or comments? Any else? His contact is there. What I could dig from him is he wants to expand, and he has a market which he thinks he can satisfy, and has return of investment in 36 months, which is 3 years. Comments? Okay. Okay, thank you. That's the last picture for today. In the absence of interventionists that are here.
I'm sorry, Mr. Moderator.
Yes,
I
please.
just got to know that the interventionist, Dr. Peter Ntefe, is online.
Good.
Dr. Peter, are you online? Can you confirm?
Comments, yeah.
Tech, can you check for Dr. Peter Ntefe online? Okay, I'm checking myself because I'm online. I'm not seeing him online. Dr. Peter Ntefe, are you online? Okay, Barrister Kachi, he's not online. We thought he was, but obviously he's not online.
Okay.
So it's back to you, Mr. Moderator. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, MC. I think this is the last picture for this session.
It is.
And in the absence of interventionists, the contacts for the pictures are available, and you can also approach the NDIS, and also most strongly from our sponsor, the NNPC, how we can tap in on the gas revolution in Nigeria, especially with the war in the Middle East and also in Ukraine. These are very good businesses that we can tap in, especially when we have infrastructure we're put in place to attend to the risk factors that are inherent in high pressure fuels. Thank you all, and yes, thank you. MC.
Thank you very much. Please a round of applause for our very, very distinguished moderator, Dr. Omonigo Otanoche. Did I get that correct?
Otanoka.
Otanoka.
Good.
And Omonigo.
Thank you so much.
Sounds like a combination of Edo and another place.
It's a Nigerian name. Amurubu. Yeah,
I could tell. You know, that's a combination of Republican and Democrats. So let's have Dr. Ms. Badewa for a group photograph. We'll quickly take a group photograph with the moderator. And we'll invite the pitcher, if you're still around, Dr. Chidozie Ikebude. Please join them for group photograph. If you're still around, join them for group photograph. And with that, we'll be concluding this session. But just before we conclude, I want to invite our very distinguished hosts for some brief remark. Right Honorable Dr. Abike Dabiri-Erewa, ON, CEO, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM. Okay, so she'll join them for photograph, and then we'll have a closing remark. You said Honorable Terab. Okay. Honorable Terab will give the closing remark. This is just to let you also know that lunch is served. And, oh yes. Earlier we mentioned that we have the representative of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. We'll give you just a minute, sir, to please come up very quickly before we conclude to tell us what the ministry wants diasporans to know. We'll do this just in a bit. So after that, we'll be able to go for lunch. So let me welcome the representative of the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. He'll just speak for a very short moment. I hope it's not a speech, sir.
It's a speech, but
okay, yeah, just summarize.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Let me rest on existing protocol. And I think I want to apologize coming this late, because we are supposed to make the speech of the Honorable Minister before the agribusiness session. So I'll just I was here when the teachers were making presentations on the agricultural sector. Nigeria is full of brilliant minds. And I want to commend the organizers of this Nigeria Diaspora Investment Summit, and also commend the chief executive of Nigerian Investment, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, Dr. Abike Erewa. It's a good thing to be here this evening, and I appreciate all that has been done here tonight, and I hope everyone has taken something home. And then the pictures, I've discussed with some of them, and those that have potentials within the business presentation that they've made will be ready to support them. The Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security will be ready to support the pictures, and we encourage them to keep up with what they are doing. And thank you very much for this opportunity this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I am the representative of the Honorable Minister. With this, we're set for lunch. There is kuli kuli before your lunch at the tour place. So you may want to touch the kuliks before you do your lunch. It's late lunch. Bon appetit, everybody. But this is a quick reminder as we move that tomorrow we resume for the final session. And the session tomorrow will have real estate and infrastructure. We'll also have education and professional services. And then we'll have the closing ceremony, brief closing ceremony before the dinner. Okay, we have manufacturing also tomorrow. We have manufacturing, real estate. We have education and professional services. We have a brief closing meeting, closing session, and then there's dinner and gala night. And with that, we'll be concluding. So do ensure that you're part of it. Have a very good evening, everyone, and bye for now.